Today everybody very early. 9:19. Very kanchiong, we eat invoice already. Faster come. Is the party complete? Are we waiting for anyone else? Okay, ini siapa punya? Sudah terbang. Okay. Okay, complete every seniors? All your teams sudah complete? Okay, that's very good. Okay, good morning. Wow, I think this is one of the training that everybody is seated 9:20. Before the start. Or is it my computer something wrong? 9:20, right? Betul-betul, Okay, very kencang we e-invoice already. In less than a month, e-invoice will be affecting most of our clients and also InTune. Okay, all right. Okay, so the objective of this training is this. So by the time you finish at about 12 something, 1 o'clock, when you walk out here, what you would have achieved is that you would have completed the review of the P&L for the client that it has been assigned to you. It means you can take the P&L, go back, and you know what to do already for the e-invoice implementation, and you already know what to do for the day-to-day data entry. So that is the objective. That's why we put you a real life scenario. So it's no longer theory, it's real life, and you can straight away go back, take it on, and do your work. Okay, so that's the objective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through some principles with you, theory part, theory part in case you have forgotten, and then I'm going to run through some theory part, and I will run through one P&L review with you. I will use Rogue Asia as an example because I've done that already, and then after that, you are going to proceed with doing the exercise of the clients that is assigned to you. Boleh? Okay, sure. So how many of you have already attended my e-invoice training before? Attended before? Okay, whether at the hotel or in the office and all, okay? Already attended before. Some of you belum ya? Belum attended? Belum. Okay. Or how many didn't attend in person but watched the video through Zoom? Zoom. 1, 2. Okay. All right. So now I want to ask, how confident are you to be able to determine, if you look at the supplier invoice or you look at the transaction, you know exactly what to do with regards to e-invoice. So I'm going to give a rating. So if you look at the invoice, you totally don't know what to do, there will be a 0. If you look at the invoice, you know exactly what to do for e-invoice, that will be a 10. Yeah. So later I'm going to put up some numbers. Then you put up your hand. I just want to see where you are in terms of how you feel, how ready you are. Okay. So hopefully by the time you leave here, everybody can put up the hand for 10. Okay. Okay. Or 9 or 10 lah. Okay. No hope. Okay. Yeah, because we cannot make mistake, kan? We are doing it for clients. Okay, so if you feel that you are 5 and below, right, in terms of whether you know how to do e-invoice treatment, you put up your hand. 5 and below. 5 and below, that's fine. There's no right or wrong answer. I just wanted to know how detailed I should be going. Okay, 5 and below, 5 and below. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. Okay, 5 and about half the class, 5 and below. Okay, so if you feel that you are 5 and above, you put up your hand. You roughly know what to do and how to do the e-invoice treatment. Okay, so I see the seniors and something lah. Okay, great. Okay. Okay, so for those who is 5 and above, you think are 6? You are 6? 6. Okay. If you are 7? 7, 7, 7. Okay, 8. 8, 9, 10. No lah, okay. I'm also 9 or 10. All right. Okay, sure. So what I'm seeing here is half of the class here is still not sure. Okay, still not sure what to do. And then, so never mind. That's why we have today's session and we have practice. So later the senior will check your work because all our seniors is 5 and above, right? So the AA and AE would do the practice and senior pergi tolong mak. Ada pen merah kah? All the seniors. Kalau salah kasih bulat besar-besar merah. Okay, so I'm just going to start with some theory first. So, AE, you'll be doing data entry. Betul? Okay. So, e-invoice is an extension of your data entry. Extension means you do data entry as usual, but you're going to tambah a few steps because of e-invoice. So, there's nothing changed. You, as usual, you get the invoice and everything, you do the data entry, enter. Like usual, tambah a few more steps. Okay, so what is that few more steps that you need to tambah? It's probably the classification codes of e-invoice. Yeah, and then you need to classification codes. Then you need to send it for e-invoice lah. Yeah, so I won't say the team and all that because team, BRN, and all that would have been set up in the customer and supplier profile. So even before you do the data entry, during the implementation stage, you would have key in the TIN number of your customer and supplier, BRN, MISC code, business nature description, etc. You would have done that. Yeah. So now I'm talking about your day-to-day data entry. So you just need to either put the classification code for the e-invoice, and also just send it for e-invoice validation. Yeah. So these are the extra steps, extension of your accounting entry. Faham? Okay. So, tak faham, then you stop me, okay? So it's very important. This is not just a training. You will need to be able to do the work when you are doing your data entry in the day-to-day. Okay? Okay, now next one. Okay. So I've given a copy of the slides on the table. So this is going to be your process. I'll probably, for a start, maybe what you could do is this will be on the front at your desk. Your desk, you are doing work. If you are not familiar yet, you're going to paste it there. Because every time when you take something for posting, you probably need to look at that. Tapi bila you sudah pandai, you tak payah ini dah. So this is a guide on how to do e-invoice treatment. A guide on how to do e-invoice treatment if you are not familiar yet. Okay? But when you are familiar already, you don't need this thought process. So this one, I call it a mind map. Okay? So for all your, is it clear or not clear? Macam not so clear. Okay. Yeah, look at the piece in front of you, that's fine. So for all your clients, now I want you to start to think about the sales process first, sales and income. So when you do data entry, you got to be very clear about whether you are dealing with the sales process or the expense process. The sales process is the easier one. You tengok kotak sikit saja. Nanti you turn belakang expense, wah banyak kotak. Okay, so then you know that it's complicated. Yeah. So for the sales or other income process, what you need to start to ask yourself whether you issue e-invoice or not. Okay. So this one we would have already determined in the implementation stage. The implementation already determined, then the AA and AE just follow. Yeah, just follow. So issue sales invoice. If yes, you need to issue sales e-invoice or no. Okay. So if it is a yes, then you need to ask yourself, is your customer selling to Malaysian customers or are they selling to overseas customers? Your client, if they are issuing e-invoice, are they selling to Malaysian customers or overseas customers? Okay. That's step one. Then you need to ask, your client selling to consumers, B2C, if B2C or B2B, they are selling to another business. Okay. Can you name me some of your clients that sells B2C from each of the group? Name one. B2C? Ecophone. Okay. B2C? Or Edutronic. Okay. B2C? Okay. Okay. Vision Space sell spectacles. Okay. Spectacles, B2C. Yes, correct. So B2C is sell to end user. Okay. B2B. Name one customers from your small group that sells B2B. B2B? Mega Temas, their customers is another business. Okay, your side? Leverage Lab, B2B, or your side? Rogue Asia, B2B. Okay, great. You all know how to differentiate what is B2B, B2C. Okay, so this is something a bit interesting. B2E is business to employee. Yeah, business to employee. Okay, none of our businesses sell to employee lah. But I think this is where it refers to is maybe staff purchase. And all, but staff purchase is also need to issue e-invoice, okay? But later this one we deal with staff claim lah. So don't worry, none of our customers here focus on selling to their staff. Yeah, they are selling either B2B, B2C, okay? B2G, any of our clients sells to government? Okay, A. Yeah, ACA sells to government authority. Your side got sell to government? Government, local authority, ada tak? Okay? Not sure. Okay, never mind. Not so much lah. So mainly it's B2C and B2E. Okay, so for the clients that you sell, for your clients that sells to B2C, what do you need to do in terms of issuing e-invoice? So issuing e-invoice, sales e-invoice got two types. Issue satu-satu. Satu customer, you bagi satu e-invoice. Or you just give normal invoice and then you consolidate e-invoice at month end. So B2C is which one? B2C, you can do consolidated. That means when customer walk in to buy something, you can just, our clients can just give them the normal invoice, business as usual, nothing changed. Only when their customer requests for an e-invoice, that's when the e-invoice needs to be given. So B2C can do console. Why? Because for it's only personal consumption. They don't need to use it for claiming tax. That's why most of the time, they don't need an e-invoice. Like you pergi makan at the restaurant, you are employee, right? You tak boleh claim personal tax. So you don't need to issue, you don't need to request for e-invoice, okay? Non-tax deductible, then that's it, yeah? So B2B, your clients actually give it to their clients, right? Okay, their clients need to use it as an expense proof for claim tax. That's why we need to issue individual, okay? Employee, whatever expenses that you incur, you need to put it as part of your supporting document for staff claims. Okay, B2G and B2B is the same. So in terms of sales, it's very straightforward. You look at your client, it's either sell to business or sell to consumer. Sell to consumer, business as usual. Kalau customer mau e-invoice, barulah bagi. Kalau tak, sebulan kita boleh console sekali ataupun setiap minggu console sekali. So console e-invoice can be issued as frequent as possible. It can be daily, console e-invoice, it can be weekly, it can be monthly, as long as it must be submitted before 7 of the following month. Okay, so that's the rule. Okay, so you look at your client, if they are not required to issue e-invoice for their sales, okay? So what they need to get as a proof of income, here we talk about income, right? Is they ask a copy of self-bill from the person that they sell to. They sell to somebody, then they need to ask a copy of the self-bill. SBEI means self-bill e-invoice. Yeah, self-bill e-invoice only apply to only apply to certain circumstances, not everything. Okay, what do you mean by not required? You have a customer, they are not required to issue e-invoice. What are the scenarios that they are not required to issue e-invoice for your customers? You have a customer, their sales, dia tak payah issue e-invoice. What are some of the scenarios they are not required? Or you mean they sell to overseas customers, is it? Okay, so great. Okay, you sell to overseas customer, you still issue normal e-invoice. Yeah, so you sell to overseas, still issue normal e-invoice. Okay, so not required means number one, belum sampai lagi loh. Maybe theirs is starting 1st of January next year. Okay? Yeah. Or they are part of the 5 exempted entities. There are only 5 entities that tak payah issue e-invoice is here. Okay? Right. Or what happened is that maybe they are in employment, they are not required. So either if the entity is exempted, then they are not required to issue e-invoice. Okay, but I think for all our clients, they must issue e-invoice. The question is timing, bila only, right? Either 1st of July or 1st of January next year, betul? Okay, so when you do your data entry for sales, that is your thought process. Okay, can follow? Can follow? That's the easy one. Something? Okay. Then okay, so you go to expenditure. Tengok banyak kotak. That's when you really need to think. You have an expense in your P&L. How do you deal with it? Yeah, what is the e-invoice treatment that you need to do? Kan? So expenditure, usually how do you do data entry? You base on supplier invoice or receipt, right? So when you do data entry, you look at the supplier invoice or receipt. Then you need to start to ask yourself, is this an e-invoice? Okay. So if this is an e-invoice, senang. Is this an e-invoice? Yes. If this is an e-invoice, business as usual, very easy. So what we want to do is we want to get as much as possible, we want to get suppliers e-invoice. Then our kerja senang saja. Tak payahlah panjang lebar, right? So if you take up the document, it's not an e-invoice. That's when you need to start to think. Look at the paper, it's not an e-invoice. Then you need to look at who is it from? Is it from local supplier or is it from foreign supplier? If it is from local supplier, look at the name. Is it an individual? Individual example is Yong Li is individual. Yeah. Non-individual means business law. Business can be sole proprietor, like Evercare is sole proprietor. Pure Pilates is sole proprietor. Okay. Blessed Baby is sole proprietor. They are also considered non-individual or business. Yeah. So you look at it, whether it's individual or business. Yeah. If it is individual, you look at the invoice. Whether they are a staff of the company or they are non-staff. If they are a staff of a company, everything is handled under payroll and staff claims. There's nothing that you need to do further. It's business as usual. You do the data entry as usual. You look at the document and then you go through this process. Okay, so if it is an individual and it's non-employee, okay, for example, Road Asia, they got received invoice from Chan Jinping, name of the people one, yeah? Let me see, they are not employee, they are freelance in their personal name. Then you need to ask yourself whether they are doing business or not doing business. Yeah, if the individual is not doing business, what do? You ask for a self-bill. So take out the invoice, look at it, under personal name, then you need to ask your client about, is this person in business? If the person say, no, this is not in business, they are doing freelance only, then what you do is, you need to self-bill. That's what you need to do when you do data entry for the expense. Okay? Right. Let me see. So if you don't get an e-invoice, it's from a Malaysian supplier, it's a business, but the business didn't give you an e-invoice, you need to start to take a look. Oh, is this a small business? So small that it is under 150,000. Businesses which is under 150,000, tak payah comply with e-invoice. That's why they don't get an e-invoice. No? Yeah. So maybe they are buying from an enterprise. Let's say Ali Cafe. Yeah. Ali Cafe maybe is so small that they don't need to comply with e-invoice. So they don't issue an e-invoice. What you do is, whatever receipt is given to you, gunalah tu aja. Just use whatever that has been given. Okay. If it is a non-individual, that means it's a business, and this is one of the 9 prescribed circumstances for self-bill, then you need to do self-bill. Okay. So of the 9 prescribed circumstances, only a few will apply to our client. I will go through with you what will apply to our clients. Yeah. There are some that doesn't apply. Of the 9 self-bill situation for expenses, only a few will relate to you. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. So if you get a supplier invoice, it's not an e-invoice, and it comes from foreigners. They buy from China, buy from US, buy from UK, Google, Facebook, and all that. They are foreigners, right? Because we pay to foreigners. You straight away need to self-bill. Or the supplier invoice, which is from overseas, straight away self-bill. Okay? Because all the foreigners, they don't need to comply with the Malaysian e-invoice. Yep. Okay, so when you do an entry and there is no e-invoice and it's just accounting entry. Okay, can you give me example of some accounting entries? Boleh bagi? What is accounting entries? Depreciation is an accounting entry. Sama? Depreciation, sama? Accounting entries. Accruals, salary journals, apa lagi? Accounting entries. Interest suspense, interest expense is a interest suspense.
Charge out to interest payable.
If you charge out to interest payable, the bank will give you an e-invoice, a self-bill. The bank will give you a self-bill. If you have anything that deals with the bank, local Malaysian bank, they will give you an e-invoice. Yeah. That I'm not sure. Yeah, but the supporting document would be a document from the bank. Everything to do with the bank, whether it's our income, like FD interest income, they will give us an e-invoice. If it's a loan interest expense for loan installment, we give to the bank, right? It's an expense, right? They will give us a self-bill. So the conclusion is anything to do with the bank, local Malaysian bank, dia akan ada bagi e-invoice or self-bill e-invoice. Yeah. Cannot get it.
So when the bank gives themselves a self-bill, then
Yeah.
our entry. Self-bill.
Okay. Sorry?
Yeah. The bank will give them a self-bill for the interest.
Yeah.
They charge.
Yeah.
The loan is so
Yeah.
the e-invoice.
Yeah.
The bank.
Okay. Yes. So the statement of everything that deals with local bank is e-invoice. Yeah. So if we are giving loan interest expense to the bank, yeah, it's their income, they will give us an e-invoice. Yeah. But if we are placing a fixed deposit and they give us FD interest income, right? Our books is FD interest income, the bank will give us a self-bill. So whichever way lah, anything that income or expense in our client's book that deal with local banks, there will be an e-invoice or self-bill from the bank. Okay? Yeah. So how frequent? I'm not sure yet because the banks were all supposed to start 1st of August last year. Tapi mereka belum ready. They already seek extension from the government that they were to start 1st of July. So that means up to now, you can see that you don't have any e-invoice from the banks. But mereka belum ready. So maybe when 1st of July comes, if you get a copy, then you can take a look at it. Yeah, nobody has seen how it looks like yet because the bank belum kasih. Okay? Yeah. Can. So accounting entries here, Forex and all that accounting entries, there's no, you do nothing. You just do your normal data entry. Okay? If it's not required, then there's nothing you need to do. Okay, so this is the thought process that you would be going through when you do data entry of your income and expenses. Okay, this is like an overall summary lah. Yeah.
Request e-invoice low bank to local then go to non-individual until the far right hand side. You have a self-bill then question mark. And what does the question mark mean?
Which one?
You have a question mark there. What's the question mark mean?
Below exempted, below threshold, normal receipt. Okay, so question mark means you need to see whether a self-bill is required or not. Yeah, not all situations self-bill is required. So as we go through the training later, we will go deeper. Yeah, we'll go deeper whether a self-bill is required. A question mark means you need to ask yourself whether it's required. Okay. Okay. So still income and expenditure. We're going to go more and more detail. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this side is all income. So this one relates to the, you turn back to the page, sales and other income, the page, okay? So this will give you more information for you to do the mind map, okay? So sales and other income, you're looking from your client's perspective, yeah? They will issue e-invoice if they are more than 150,000, yeah? And most of our clients are more than 500,000, that's why they start July, yeah? So whatever sales of product and services, they need to issue e-invoice. Sale or even scrap, whatever, apa sajalah mereka yang mereka jual, even gain on disposal of fixed asset. Let's say this computer, InTune want to sell. So InTune also must issue e-invoice, or your client also must issue e-invoice, yeah? Same like any other sales, yeah? Insurance claim from foreign payer. Okay, I think this one is not applicable to us. Yeah, not applicable to our client. Okay, bank interest from foreign player. So whenever you see a foreign that means overseas, we will need to issue e-invoice. Yeah, yeah. For income is issue e-invoice from foreigner. Commission from foreigner. Sales through e-commerce platform. So any of your clients sells on Amazon and Taobao and any overseas platform or not? Got or not? Your client, they sell B2C. They sell on Amazon.com. They sell on Taobao. What? Any of your clients? Don't have? Radio site? Ada tak? Jual dekat? Okay, Shopee, Lazada, TikTok has a Malaysian company, so no issue. Yeah. So only if they sell on overseas platform, then you need to use this treatment. Yeah. Reimbursements, we will issue e-invoice. Okay, can you give me some examples of reimbursements? Okay. InTune bill. InTune, we bill our clients, right? So we bill accounting outsourcing fee, HR outsourcing fee. Then we also bill printing and stationery telecommunication, 30 ringgit, 10 ringgit, right? So that part is called reimbursement. So that reimbursement also must e-invoice. Okay, right. So any of your client got reimbursements one? Ada tak? Any of your client got bill their client, something like that, printing, stationery, okay? Mostly professionals lah. Okay, any of your client? Professional firms, macam InTune, ada bill, telephone charges, printing, stationeries and all. Ada? I know this group ada. Kasih nama of your client? Yes, Chico. Chico is a lawyer firm, legal firm. They also bill their clients reimbursements. Okay? All right. Okay. So if it is your income, your client's income, under this scenario, they do not need to issue e-invoice, but they request for a copy of self-bill from the person who pay them. They don't need to, it's an income. Usually income, you need to issue e-invoice, right? But under this scenario, they don't need to issue e-invoice because the person who received the other person will give a self-bill. Yeah, I need to get a copy of the self-bill. Meaning when you do data entry, you need to ask your client, hey, this one, right? Can you go and get a copy of self-bill from your, from your customers? Yeah. Commission. Any of your client receiving commission? Commission income, ada tak? Okay, kalau ada, they don't need to issue an e-invoice. They need to get a copy of request for a self-bill e-invoice from the other party. Okay. Insurance claim. Yeah. Sometimes insurance claim, one of the staff, let's say accident, fall down, get compensation from their insurance company. The money that they receive, they need to get a copy of self-bill from the insurance company, AIA or Great Eastern or whatever lah. Okay. Bank interest. Just now I said, right? Anything to do with local bank. See, local bank. We get a copy of self-bill from them. Sales through e-commerce platform. Okay, your client that sells through Shopee, Lazada, TikTok, radio site. Siapa lagi? Bless Baby. Okay, lagi siapa? Any of your B2C client jual barang to customers on TikTok, Shopee and Lazada. Ini dua je ya? Okay, so for Bless Baby and radio site, for if they sell, they don't need to issue e-invoice. They don't need to issue e-invoice. What they need to do is get a copy of sale bill from Shopee and Lazada. So it's likely going to be a consolidated. So whenever you do the data entry, every month, I imagine that it will look like you go to the Shopee punya portal ke macam mana, you take a copy of the self-bill consolidated e-invoice for your data entry purpose. Sekarang you ambil, okay, so currently you get a copy of their sales report or something, right? So now you need to get a copy of the self-bill consolidated e-invoice from Shopee, Lazada, and TikTok. Need to get a copy and put it as a supporting document that is issued by Shopee, Lazada, TikTok. Faham? Okay. Next one, dividend received from local player except listed company and single tier. Any of your client got received dividend? Tak ada. Okay. I think like Vision Space got received dividend and all, right? Okay. Tapi yang ini is accept lah because the single tier dividend is dealt with differently. Okay? Okay, next one. Do not issue e-invoice. Do not issue e-invoice for whatever money that you receive. Disbursement. Which of your client got disbursement? Satu aja pun. Chai & Co, lawyer firm. They have client to pay for the stamp duty, stamping fee, whatever that relates to the government on behalf of their client. So that one is called disbursement. Bila yang dia mau bill client, there should not be an e-invoice because it's not their income. Do not issue e-invoice on that line. They need to choose classification code 006 for disbursement. So this is something that we need to teach Jesh or whoever that issue sales invoice to their customers for Chaiko. Okay? Okay. Disbursement. Yeah. So for InTune, if we are helping our client give us the money, one whole lump sum. Yeah. And then we just tolong bayar EPS, SOXO, and pay the staff salary. That one is under disbursement 006. Yeah. Yeah. We issue invoice to our client, right? Yeah. So that they pay us. But the admin fee of 5 ringgit, that one we need to issue individual e-invoice. Only the EPF amount, SOXO amount, PCB amount that our client pay to our bank account, that one you issue in your e-invoice. Sorry, you issue in your e-invoice with a 006 classification code.
Basically a payment.
Yeah. Payment on behalf. Pass through only. Yeah. So InTune invoice to our client will have 3 parts. Number 1, monthly outsourcing fee. That one is monthly outsourcing fee. That one is e-invoice. Printing, stationery, and telecommunication, 30 ringgit, 10 ringgit is e-invoice. The next one is 5 ringgit transaction fee, tolong bayar is e-invoice, correct. So EPS also yang they pay to us, that one is disbursements, no e-invoice 006. Yeah.
Travel to the client's place and claim to us will be given to the client by e-invoicement. That is no or do staff travel to client on the petrol and parking. And then we bring back to the
Right. Right.
without any additional.
I would say that one is e-invoice. Yeah.
No additional profit.
Okay, that one is e-invoice because one of the criteria for disbursement is the receipt must be in the client's name. Example, stamping, right? Katalah stamping, property transfer. So I go to the stamp office, the stamp office charge me 1,000 ringgit for the stamp. The stamp punya receipt is in the client's name. Let's say Yong Lily, you want to do asset transfer, Yong Lily is in Yong Lily's name one. So if the supplier invoice or the whatever receipt is under the name of InTune, that one is reimbursement, e-invoice. So, yeah.
The documents are not in our name, then we use the 006.
Yes, correct. If the receipt is in client's name, we tolong bayar, like EPS also, right? It's in client's name, right? So it's 006. if it is in InTune's name, example, we charge paper, printing and stationery, right? We buy the paper from our supplier, Pacific Wise. Pacific Wise invoice to InTune. Those type is you need to issue e-invoice. The conclusion is all the staff claims, mileage, and whatever that we charge to our client, GDEX that we charge to our client is e-invoice, not 006. Okay, so this one applies to Chai and Co. And InTune, Chai and Co. InTune. Faham? Okay. Okay, next one, we look at expenditure. All your cost of sales, all your overhead expenses, etc. Boleh nampak? Okay. Okay. For normal receipts, okay. Yeah. So if you have your laptop with you, you pay attention to what's going on. Don't need to reply client email or WhatsApp first, okay? Later, if you have QBO practice, then we use it for QBO practice, okay? Yeah, so that you can pay full attention. Yeah. So expenses. When you get a normal invoice or receipt, definitely from foreigners lah. If they buy from overseas, remember overseas people, they don't need to comply to Malaysia e-invoice. You use a normal receipt. Exempted. Small business that is more than less than 150,000, they just give you normal receipts as usual, nothing changed. Government expense will also give you a normal receipt. Yeah. Okay, so this part is your suppliers may also give you e-invoice. If you give you e-invoice, that's the best. There's nothing else you need to do. You just do your normal data entry, and then payroll, journals, and all. Those are just accounting entries. Yeah, there is no e-invoice required. Remember, salary, incentive, EPF, so itu semua, nothing to do with e-invoice. So your journal entry for payroll, accrual is biasa, nothing else. Okay? Yeah. So for your expenses, it's like this. So for whatever expenses in your P&L, okay, and then you are paying to your supplier, it is InTune who is going to issue self-bill. So you need to take note of that. Your clients incur expenses, betul? Yeah. You pay the suppliers, betul? We are the finance department. We upload payment, we pay the suppliers. So when we do the payment to suppliers and we do the data entry, in this situation, you need to do self-bill for your clients. Okay. Number one, commission. Except for commission for staff lah. Okay, example, Road Asia, dia ada bayar commission. Tapi dia ada bayar commission is for staff. Okay. For staff, is already under payroll. Jadi you no need to issue e-invoice. Anyone else of your client that issue commission to agents and all? Got or not? Oil. Okay. Oil team siapa? Oil team, right? Okay. Oil lagi? Give commission. Issue commission. Oil. Ni pun oil. Or hair transplant. Okay. Dia bagi commission to staff or non-staff? Okay, kalau non-staff, bila dia bayar, then in your team need to issue the self-bill. Okay, you need to issue self-bill for commission for non-staff. This one? Commission. Okay, so they are the 1st of January batch. Yeah. Technically, the advice to them is they need to include in payroll because kena bayar PCB itu semua. Need to pay PCB. So this is the advice that we need to. Dia tak nak bayar siapa tu? Oh, radio side. Okay. Technically need to go through payroll. So actually when we do implementation for radio side, we'll give the advice because of e-invoice, now you tak boleh buat macam tu dah. You kena masukkan dalam payroll. Then the staff commission akan reported to income tax via payroll, their EA form lah. Okay, sure. Anyone else? Commission? So for InTune one will be whatever lah, we pay for PECT one. PEC. Referral fee and all that we need to issue self-bill. Yeah, self-bill. Okay. Okay. So whenever you see a commission expense in your P&L, you need to ask yourself, you need to staff or non-staff. To start, masuk dalam payroll, make sure it goes into payroll. Non-staff, issue self-bill. Okay. Okay. Individual not doing business. So in your P&L, got payment to, maybe cleaner, freelance designer, in their individual name or in their full name. Ada tak? Sure got a lot, right? Yeah. So what you need to do is like Road Asia banyak. Yeah, Road Asia. All the monthly you issue payment to Sarah, Craig lah and all that, right? Yang semua tu self-bill. So when you do the data entry, right? You kena tekan the self-bill butang lah. Yes. So this one. Yes. Okay, yes, at the setup stage. At the setup stage, so their name will be in the supplier card list, right? So you need to get their IC number or their TIN number and key into the customer or supplier contact list. You must, yeah, because to do self-bill, you need to have their TIN also. Okay? Siapa lagi? Individual not doing business. Cleaner, pay cleaner. Okay, ada tak? Okay, very good. Yeah. So if you pay rental, you bayar rental, and then you look at the tenancy agreement, is in individual name. Then you need to ask, okay? You need to get your client to ask. Kalau satu nama, senang aja lah. Okay? Kalau satu nama, the landlord, let's say, is Yong Lily. Very easy. The rental, 3,500, you bayar, you record as expense, you self-bill. Yong Lily, 3,500. Okay? But if you look at the tenancy agreement, ada Yong Lily and Wong Wai Chun. Okay? Then you need to ask your client to ask, that property is berapa peratus for Yong Lily, berapa peratus for Wong Wai Chun. You need to ask. Then if they say is, let's say 40, Wong Wai Chun is 60, Alex is 60, then in your rental expense, the data entry, right, you kena 2 lines, 2 rows. Yong Lily, RM400. Alex Wong, RM600. Total rental, RM1,000. Dua-dua orang pun self-bill. So you need to do one more step. Okay, sure. Okay, utility bill. Katalah utility bill belum change nama, is still in the name of Yong Lily and Wong Wai Chun. You dalam the invoice for your rental, you kena tambah utility dekat bawah. You need to self-bill the utility bills, that means your electric, water, Indah Water and all, if they haven't changed name to the tenant punya nama. So what you need to do is, now you need to start to go and look at all your rental agreement, tengok is individual or company. Kalau individual, you kena buat macam tu. Kalau individual more than one, like I said, me and Alex, you kena tanya berapa percentage. Look at all the utility bills. If it is not already in your client's name, there are 2 options. You can ask them, can you faster go and change name? That's what InTune do as well. Our landlord ask InTune to change name to InTune punya nama untuk electric, water and all that. So you can ask them to do that one time. If they don't do that, all the utility bills still under the landlord name, you will need to self-bill. Finance department need to do the self-bill. Faham? So maybe in your data entry, right? So in your data entry, you will enter the rental expense, Lily 400, Alex 1,000, electric bill setelah 300, water bill 200. You need to self-bill the whole thing either in one entry or in separate entries. Yeah. Usually it's not, in the tenancy agreement, it's not stated one. Yeah, it's not stated. You need to ask the client to ask. Maybe they give a confirmation via email. Oh, dia kena tanya dia punya landlord. Macam lah dia kena tanya, Alex, you punya berapa peratus? Lily, you punya berapa peratus? And ask them to give an email lah. Then we just print and put. Yeah. Faham? So if you see that your client, the electric bill semua belum tukar, you can give them 2 choices. Can you go and change it? Yeah, go and change it to your name. I think that makes it easier, right? Yeah, recommended. Ask them to change. Yeah. Okay. Mana. Okay. This is individual not doing business lah, self-bill. Remember the 9 prescribed circumstances? The next one, import goods. Siapa ada klien beli barang dari China ke Singapore ke tu, ada kan? Okay, then you need to self-bill. Yeah. Import services, they subscribe to QuickBook, Netflix and all that, self-bill. Everything from overseas is self-bill, yeah? Payment to foreigners, self-bill. Okay. Reduction of shares, this one we don't deal with it on a regular basis. Yeah, so when it comes, only you come and ask us lah. Yeah, self-bill. Local e-commerce platform, I already explained, Blast Baby and Radio Site, they need to get a copy of self-bill from the platform holder at least once a month. Yeah. Dividend received from local payer company. Dividend received, siapa yang dapat dividend akan self-bill except for this one. Okay, these two not related to us because none of our client is in the Toto, Big Street or Genting casino business, tak ada kan? So not relating to us, yeah. Interest payment, okay. If our client actually pay interest to somebody else, which is non-bank, need to self-bill. Example, DCKH. Is it DCKH or Hanox? Hanox. Hanox got individual funders, right? So whenever we pay interest to the funders, self-bill. Siapa lagi ada interest expense? Intercompany loans. Siapa ada intercompany loans? Kalau ada interest. Tak ada. Okay? Yep.
Self-bill.
Yeah.
Self-bill because the interest also is charged by every month. Now, before the invoice, now we have to wait for the self-bill from the bank.
Yeah.
The bank will charge, they charge interest. Okay, when we see the self-bill, or we charge every month.
Yeah.
The loan for the higher purchase. So now we charge it every month.
Yeah, we charge to P&L. Yeah.
Now, we see only the
Okay, so my recommendation is you still do your work as usual. When you get a copy of the self-bill, you attach as a supporting document. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes, that's what I would recommend lah. Yeah. Otherwise, we wait for the bank, right? Our account supplier tutup already. Kan? Yeah. So we will need to also take into account the practicality of it. Otherwise, account supplier tutup, right? Yeah. So we do whatever we needed to do, whatever self-bill, we will wait for it and then just later only attach as a supporting document. I think that will be practical. Yes, something? Yeah. Is it part of here? Okay. Okay. Let me see. Disposal of fixed asset.
But it's not under the payroll. Not.
I forgot where is it already. Okay, never mind. Later as we go on, ada. Okay. It would have lah. There, this one. Gain on disposal of fixed asset is issue e-invoice. To staff. Yes. 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 There's no difference whether it's to staff or not. Because for staff, we won't put in the EA form. If they buy computer from InTune, right? We won't put in the EA form. If we won't put in the EA form, then we just issue e-invoice. Okay? Okay? Okay, up to this point, do you have any question? Okay, because we are going to go into practical very soon. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to skip this. Okay. So, do you think you are able to start doing some exercises? Let's say we start doing some exercises, then we cover again the theory if you need any other support. Okay? Okay. 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 Ayo, a bit blur and then can adjust. Syam, boleh tak you berdiri and help me to adjust, kasih clear There's a button to depan sini. The button to hooker. Bagus. Okay, cantik. Okay. Yes. Can see better? Okay. So, barulah nampak. Okay. So this is the review of P&L that I've done. So I'm just going to run you through. Okay. Then you start on your own client. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what I did was I take a full year. Okay. This is Rogue Asia. Rogue Asia is B2B or B2C? Okay. If B2B, what kind of e-invoice should you be issuing? Anybody can answer. B2B, sales. Yeah, you need to distinguish between sales and expense. Sales, B2B, do you issue individual e-invoice or console? Individual e-invoice. So for sales, so senang saja. Ini sampai sini kan. B2B, issue individual e-invoice for all customer. Okay, that's why we need to teach our client when they issue the sales invoice to the customer, they kena press the e-invoice button, submit for validation. Okay, so sales, very senang. Okay. Okay. Then cost of sales. Yeah. So cost of sales, what we do is, yeah. Okay. Okay. So for cost of sales, what you need to do is you need to look at who are the suppliers. Important. You need to look at who are the suppliers because they may give you an e-invoice or they may not give you an e-invoice. Okay. So when you look at the suppliers, step one is always get suppliers individual e-invoice from local Malaysian supplier. Yeah. All your suppliers, get your suppliers individual ya, e-invoice for all local Malaysian supplier. Ini semua local Malaysian. Ya. Ini semua local Malaysian. Same treatment. So it's straightforward. Yeah, it's straightforward. Even Maxis or DG, they would have given you e-invoice. They already started, right? Bila you enter the Telkom DG bill tu semua, ada e-invoice dengan scan the barcode tak? Got the barcode. Yeah. So what you can do is you try to scan the barcode and see what comes out. It should take you to the My Invoice portal punya info. Then you know that is a e-invoice. Okay. So the e-invoice from supplier, it looks like your normal invoice. Looks like normal invoice with an additional barcode. Yeah. So if you're not sure, you just scan the barcode and then take a look at what it is. Yeah. It's not something else. Okay. Boleh? So same treatment. Senang saja, same treatment. Okay, if this accrual is an accounting entry, you don't need to do anything. You just pass your journal as normal. Okay. Okay. Next one. Yeah. Yes.
Contribution to the factory is positive.
Okay, sure. There's no action required. Business as usual. Yeah. So when I say BAU, business as usual, that means you do your work as normal. There is no additional steps to do for e-invoice. Yeah.
Sales which is classified for inventory. Yeah.
Yes, correct. So whether it's in the cost of sales or expenses below or above the GP, it doesn't matter. Expense is one same category. Yeah. Doesn't matter it's COGS or normal overhead expense. Yeah. Okay, so you look at this one. Their software license, they buy from Freshwork. Yeah, the supplier is located in India. So in India, right, they don't need to comply with Malaysian e-invoice. So will Freshwork give them an e-invoice? No, Freshwork give normal invoice. So based on the normal invoice, you masuk aja. Based on the normal invoice, business as usual. Lepas tu you tekan the button, self-bill. Okay, and then you put the classification code for imported services. Yeah. Classification code for imported services. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what you need to do is for imported services, you need to do the self-bill latest by the end of the following month. No, the end of the following month. Okay, it's for self-bill, right? Okay, so you bayar you dapat Freshwork punya invoice, you masukkan dalam sistem. You self-bill. Yeah. So If you already get it immediately, same date, you enter today's date lah. Kalau tak, you latest, the date of the self-bill must by the last day of the following month. Katalah sekarang June. Freshbook give me a bill, 5th of June. Latest, you must self-bill by next month punya last day. 31st July. Yeah, 31st July. Okay, so, yeah, so imported services, you got 1 month. End of 1 month. Let's say bill is 5th of June. So you must self-bill by 31st July. Next month punya month end lah. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So you must do this latest by this. So got 2 dates mah. Either the invoice date or the payment date, right? Ada 2 tarikh. Supplier invoice dia ada terus tarikh, or the payment date. Okay, so which one you want to choose? So the rule says that the earlier of, kalau you dapat the invoice tu tarikh ini, you must self-bill tarikh ini. Yeah, self-bill this date, the earlier of these 2 dates. Yeah, so my recommendation straightforward. Selalu kita masuk dulu kan. We enter the invoice first before we pay mah, because we got 30 days payment terms, right? So bila kita enter the invoice date, teruslah self-bill. The same time you do the data entry, the same time you do the self-bill, counting. Cerita habis. Yeah. Okay. Invoice date 5th of June. Yeah. Kita receive 30th June. Okay. The payment tu belum lagi lah. Okay. So I'm not sure how it works on QuickBooks. We will need to take a look. Invoice date di sana. Yeah. Okay. Understand. So what you need to do is, okay, we will need to wait for the QuickBooks to be ready because QuickBooks self-bill belum ready. Ya, QuickBooks self-bill. So sekarang kita punya practice ialah kita akan data entry 5th of June, right? Okay. Tapi invoice kita dapat on 30th June. Okay. Self-bill latest by 31st July. Okay. Our recommendation is business as usual. You key in tarikh ini and you self-bill tarikh ini juga because it's in the same step. You just need to tekan the button self-bill saja. So we wait for QuickBooks to release the self-bill punya function. Tengok boleh tak? We can be backdate or not? Yeah, that one I'm not sure. Kalau boleh backdate, kita backdate. Kalau tak boleh backdate, I feel we enter based on this one lah. Posted date. It's more senang mah. Because we need to do data entry first before we pay. Yeah. Proforma invoice lah. Expense is it? Okay. Any of your client got proforma invoice for expense? Got or not? Siapa? Okay. Vision Space. Proforma invoice. Dari mana? Johnson & Johnson give proforma invoice. Huh? Okay. Right. Okay. So Johnson & Johnson give proforma invoice. Would they ever give a normal invoice? Lepas bayar dia akan bagi tak? Don't have ah. That's weird. Okay. Sure. Okay. So earlier of the payment date lah. So maybe the Vision Space, what we can do is we ask client with the e-invoice coming, you go and correct out the Johnson & Johnson one, all the invoice, because they would have been e-invoice already. You take a look at the latest one, whether do they still use proforma invoice with the QR code or not. Pergi tengok. Yeah. Okay. You go and see. Yeah. Because generally proforma invoice is not, it's just a document for payment only, info only. It's not a real invoice. Okay. Yeah. So, faham? Yeah. So, unlikely we will I think as a firm, I would prefer that we actually follow invoice date rather than payment date because kita kena buat, we will always enter first before we pay, right? We enter AP before we pay. So we always use invoice date lah. Then kalau boleh back date, kita guna ni. Kalau the software tak bagi back date, we use the date we receive the invoice to enter. Yeah. Okay? Boleh. For imported services. Yeah. Okay. Okay, next one. They also receive commission income from fresh work. That means from overseas. So the treatment is issue individual e-invoice. Remember the sales cycle. You go back to the mind map, turn to the mind map. Okay. You under sales, yes, under sales. Okay. Sales, local or foreign is foreign, right? Foreign is a, let me see, sales and other income, foreign. Mana ya? The sales, other income, foreign. Yeah, it's a self-bill. So whenever there is a foreign, there's a self-bill. Why is it don't have here? Issue invoice. Okay, so it's this one. Income, right? Income from fresh work. Got e-invoice? Don't have. Don't have, that means self-bill. You sendiri, bill sendiri. Yep. Okay, let's see. Okay, salah. It's not self-bill. So if income, what you do is issue individual e-invoice. Answer to the other sana. Okay. Commission from fresh work is foreigner. We are receiving the income, so we issue individual e-invoice. There's no self-bill. Self-bill is only for expense. Yeah, self-bill. Okay. Okay. So this one, other income, interest income from CIMB bank. So what do we get? What do we do? Ah, yes. Bank will provide self-bill e-invoice. Bank will provide. Anything with local bank, they will give you an invoice or e-invoice. Why this is self-bill? Because to the bank, it's their expense. Bank punya expense, bank will do a self-bill, we get a copy of self-bill. Yeah. Get a copy from bank as supporting. Okay. Masa I buat, I pun tak tahu lagi. Sekarang saya sudah tahu. So I put yellow. Okay. Faham? Okay. Same lah. This one is also from CIMB bank, same treatment. Faham? Okay. So, okay, all the expenses, InTune will issue an e-invoice to our client, right? So get suppliers e-invoice for our local Malaysian company, same. Next one. Ini bayar kepada IRB, government, right? So you get a receipt from the authority is enough. No need e-invoice. Yeah, you don't go and get an e-invoice from the LHDN. So whatever receipt that LHDN give for the tax audit, just take as a supporting document. Boleh? Okay. Donation and gift sama saja, get suppliers e-invoice. Consultation fee pun sama. Wait. Okay, let me see. This one. This one. Okay, get suppliers e-invoice for local Malaysian. Donation expense. What do? Is you can get a copy of e-invoice. It's not self-bill, yeah? Donation. Let's say you go to a temple, you do a donation. You can get a copy of e-invoice from them. Individual e-invoice. Yeah? Kalau tak ada, just use the normal donation receipt. It's okay. Boleh. Yeah. Okay. 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 So with e-invoice coming, then they need to do one step. Let's say they are going to donate to a club. Let's say Rotary Club. Yeah. So actually Rotary Club also needs to be e-invoice. So they need to start to ask. They need to start. Do you have e-invoice? Then only do the donation. Yep.
Give for the customer.
They buy the gift, is it? Okay, for example, if they buy the gift, let's say hamper lah, Chinese New Year hamper, they buy the gift to give to their customers, right? So when they buy the hamper that time, they need to ask for an e-invoice from the hamper supplier. Ah, yes, it's an expense. Okay. Yep. Okay, boleh?
One of the customers wanted to do something, so he will get it.
Yeah, that whoever that do that something, but then he wants to die for two people. And I pay for the aircon. The aircon supplier must then do.
Yep. Yeah.
If the donation is the donation and gift do not have invoice, do not have we think can we do self-gift?
Okay, so be careful with self-bill. So self-bill is you cannot simply use one. Only if it falls under the 9 circumstances you can use. Yeah, you cannot say, I don't have e-invoice. Never mind lah. I be more secure. I buy an insurance. Like I just self-bill. You cannot. Yeah. So to do self-bill, you just need to run through. Does this fall under one of the 9 circumstances? If yes, then I can. If no, I cannot. Okay, then you need to careful. You need to careful a bit. So yeah, are you doing it in your individual capacity or business? You need to ask some questions lah. They say that, I only do this once a year during Chinese New Year. I'm actually not doing it as a business. Then that one is exempted mah. So that fellow won't give you e-invoice, give you a normal receipt, boleh accept. Yeah.
So if you have the how is the normally unless it's fast, and then the key white, and then if not, then the usual conduct. So some of the production remarks, if they are income below 150, they don't have to comply. So it's business.
So assume we
Don't assume
We are.
then
we actually there is an assumption.
We can email that, ask them to confirm back lah. You can do that. Yes, if you want to secure ourselves lah. That means all the kecil-kecil suppliers, I think susahnya. Dia tak bagi I e-invoice kan. I buy from someone else that will give me e-invoice. Yeah. 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 Okay. Any other question? Ask all the questions which is affect your day to day. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes. ABD. Okay. So Surya, your case is apa macam ya? Your case is not that you say the donation or gift.
So this is commission. No, it's like there is a two types. One is like something gift or like an item.
Yeah.
Or they will sponsor to do something.
For the customers. Right. Okay, because under the one of the 9 prescribed circumstances for self-bill, payment to agent, dealer, and distributor, you need to self-bill also. Yeah, let's say they free an iPhone for that person, so need to self-bill. Yeah.
So if not, you will be like just sale.
Yeah.
Unless the incentive to restart is given to specific people who restart. So that one
Self-bill, yes. Yeah. So payment to agent, dealer, and distributor, whether they pay cash or pay barang, also need to self-bill. Yeah. Okay. So let me see. Okay. Boleh? Okay. Entertainment, customers, entertainment. So all the makan receipt and etc. So we will talk about the 3-step staff claims process. So as long as the company policy cover, we will tell the staff, please go and get an e-invoice in the company name. Kalau tak boleh, you get an e-invoice in the staff name. Kalau tak boleh, just normal receipt aja. So we will need to issue a policy for InTune for you all when you all submit staff claim, and the policy for our clients so that when their staff submit staff claim, it can fall under this. Yeah. So generally staff claims, kalau boleh, minta the staff ambil e-invoice in the company name. Yeah. So we always say lah, the 3-step staff claim process. I will just use this word lah. Okay. Filing fee and stamp duty. Get the receipt from authority. Itu aja. Okay. So it's business as usual lah. Okay.
Question.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And then staff buy all the things that needed to go. POS kind of thing. Shopee. So then we had to put client that feels whether it should be part under staff policy or it should be a very clear cut on sales. Because it should not all the no knowledge achieving something for the project we use.
Okay.
So we had that
For nano lah. Okay. Do we come to any conclusion? Oh, okay, okay. Sure, okay. In that case, right, it will be under staff claims because staff claims got 2 types. Very clear one. Staff claims benefit for you to enjoy. Okay, that one is benefit for you to enjoy. Some company give gym membership and all that. That's one. This one is fall under payment on behalf of employer. So this staff claim is payment on behalf of employer. So they should get an e-invoice under employer name. Yeah, under the company name. Still the 3 steps to apply. Yeah.
So we ask should I be getting from the overseas platform or should it be the vendor that are selling parts?
Okay. Yeah.
Shopee or G something or the vendor, for example, China.
Right, right. Okay, to answer the question, if the staff buy the barang on Shopee, Shopee already issue e-invoice, individual e-invoice already. You pergi try lah hari ni, you beli something from Shopee, you request for e-invoice, you need to fill up the name and all. So you do, so buy from Shopee, ask for the e-invoice from Shopee. Yeah. So if they buy from overseas platform like Amazon, etc., they won't give you e-invoice mah. Okay. So that one under staff claims, the 3 steps. No self-bill, but the 3 steps. Kalau tak ada e-invoice in company name, in staff name pun tak ada mah. Then business as usual lah. Yeah, under business as usual. Yeah, under staff claims also lah. We can jalan that route. It's easier.
My employee policy is big.
Yes, yes. My employer policy must be very clear.
For example, I got project in US. US.
Okay. Right, right.
Then maybe I got another project.
Yes.
And after I jump policy,
Yeah.
I got a project in Australia.
Right,
So
right. Per diem is like macam allowance, right? Per day one. Okay. So, yeah.
So our suggestion to you is add the addendum policy.
Yep. That's right. So, and the per diem or the allowance will be part of the EA form. So there is no e-invoice required. Yeah. Faham? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You see, if prepayment, right, is just a mode of payment. it doesn't change the way that we do treatment for e-invoice. So I give you 5,000 first, and then you claim back. So that is considered staff claim also. So the entire treatment, whether the staff pay first and claim back, or I pay money to the staff so that they can use, is the same. Yeah. So that means the 3 steps lah. Invoice in the company name, e-invoice in the staff name, or kalau tak boleh, the normal invoice or normal receipt.
So
Yeah.
the one payment,
Yeah.
you treat as accounting entry first, then
Yes.
only
Yes, betul. Betul. Yeah. So the 5,000, they say the company give the staff 5,000 so that dia boleh beli barang. So that 5,000, there is no e-invoice impact one. Yeah, it's a balance sheet item. It's an accounting entry, credit bank, debit, maybe petty cash for the staff. So that one, no e-invoice impact. Only when dia bagi the receipt to knock off against the 5,000, that's when the e-invoice treatment happens. Okay, right. Okay, so individual, get receipt. Okay, license. License is from a DBKL, MPSJ and all, right? Just get the normal receipt from the authority. Okay. Okay. So this one, all the professional fee, every month fixed amount, right? This one is Road Asia. So either we apa? There's no invoice. Tapi Sam akan prepare invoice once a year mah, at the beginning of the year. Okay. Okay. So this one, okay, for this one, the item number 1. So I already asked Ronnie. So he said that they are individuals because when we pay them individually. We self-bill them. We self-bill. Yeah. Ada dia bagi tahun sekali at the beginning of the year. Self-bill to individuals. Okay, self-bill to individuals. Yang mana individual kita self-bill. So I already informed him, he's aware lah. Kenapa tak boleh? Entah, lama. Tak apa. Okay. Yang ini ialah company, Dalston. So you get an e-invoice. Yeah. Okay. I think we want to do the confirmation 150,000. Okay. Right. Okay. So we want to put in an additional process. Katalah our client, you go through your clients and they are paying an individual name. Okay. We would want to get the individual to confirm back to us whether their annual sales is less than 150,000 or not. That means we are actually doing our part lah to determine. If they confirm back they are less than 150,000, whatever invoice they are giving us, normal, we just accept. Yeah. If not, then you need to tell them they need to give us an e-invoice. Yeah. Yeah. The 6 months until the end of the year. If you ask for e-invoice, dia tak nak bagi, still okay. Because relaxation, that is a relaxed rules lah. Okay. So later I will show you the exemption. Yeah. We want to practice that, right? Exemption. Okay. Okay. Faham tak? Is there anything tak faham? Okay. Okay, get supplier to sign the declaration of below 150,000. That means this one is exempted lah. Exempted. This one is business as usual, BAU. Okay.
We hereby confirm that you have mentioned you are under 150.
Put a detail if you fail to reply to us.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Boleh? Okay. Okay, clear not? If not clear, you ask now. Because after we finish this, you go out and do your work, we need to do the application. Siba.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, generally yes lah. Yeah, generally yes.
The beginning of the January, We hereby confirm that you have informed us of under 100.
Because they don't want to give us e-invoice, ma. They say they are 150,000 below, ma. They don't need to comply with e-invoice, ma. So you sign back to me, lo. Confirm to me. Yeah. Change supplier. Yeah.
50 is on base. What? The year
Total for the total. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Total for 1 year, 150,000.
behalf of the year you bring.
Yeah.
What if the one week receive within 2 years, that company by invoice.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is also what you do. Now we have checked, right? Sometimes the question, you from the chat, you are an e-invoice expert. Then you take your scenario. What should I do? Then you will tell you and then ask for reference. Please give me reference at where you get your answer. Then they will give you an alternate the e-invoice. So you can use that to support you and daily work. Okay, but don't take it as a gospel to that it can power.
Okay. Boleh? Okay, so all the reversal of provision, over provision, under provision, those are all accounting entries. So when you do the journals and the reversal, there is no invoice required. Okay, accounting entries saja. Boleh? Okay, so this is the bank charges. Bank charge you, bank will give you e-invoice. Bank will provide e-invoice. Okay? Interest loan, it is our expense, it is their income, bank's income. Bank will provide e-invoice. Okay? Boleh? All the interest cost lah. Electricity office. So, just now we discussed all the utility, whether it's in company name or landlord name. Yeah? Yeah. You know how to trade already? Okay. 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 Periodical and subscription. They pay to all these software. InTune lah, Steam lah, ChatGPT and all that. These are all overseas, right? So it falls under imported services. What do you do? Self-bill, yes. Self-bill e-invoice for overseas payment. Okay, faham? Postage and courier, let's say GDEX. GDEX will do what? GDEX will give you an e-invoice, okay? So what do is, you just get e-invoice from suppliers, okay? Printing and stationery is the same, betul? Okay, rental of equipment, this one is Coway. Coway already given e-invoice, okay? I think this one is Coway. Okay. Okay, rental of office. So the landlord is a company. For this case, landlord is the company. The landlord already issuing e-invoice. Already. Yeah. Okay. Small value assets, you apply the same rules lah. Tengok apa dia beli. Okay. Okay. This one. Telephone, fax, internet for office. So what you do is, what do you do? Get e-invoice lah. Okay. Same. Semua sama saja. Okay. Water. Okay. Depending on the. Okay, contract wages. Contract wages. Yang ni macam mana? Payroll. Okay. So payroll, no action required, right? No e-invoice action required. Okay. It's also accounting entry only. Yes.
So I said to, they need the idea on shop dekat tu. But
Okay, faham.
saya tu ambil meeting. So every month saya akan bayar daily.
Hmm. Hmm. Good question. Okay. Yes. That's right. Okay, good question. So she's a owner of the building. She operates a sole prop. The sole prop bayar dia rental. Hmm. Actually, from the perspective, right? She and the business is one. They only share one TIN number. Macam mana ya? Yeah, I think there's no action required because yeah, it's the same party. Yeah, it's the same party.
Income to myself, I pay expenses to myself.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Sorry?
Accounting entry for this case.
For that case, I think it's the accounting entry. Yeah, because both of them is the same thing, ma. Mm-mm.
Viewer
Uh-huh.
is not individual deducting, so it's not for the expenses. Kan? So if you ask me, it should be a invoice issue.
Janice issue e-invoice to Bless Baby. Okay.
My viewer
Mm-mm. Okay, never mind. For that case, we will ask. We will check with some professionals first, and then we see how. So either live chat, yeah, live chat with LHDN. Mm-mm.
I think if
Ah.
because
Mm-mm.
From
Mm.
the app,
Oh.
all
In e-invoice, it cannot be self-bill. Yeah, it cannot be self-bill. So never mind, just check with LHDN lah. Yeah. So this is scenario. The orang and the business is enterprise business. They all share one same thing. Yeah. Yeah. So we will check. If you're not sure, we'll just check. Yeah. Okay. Road Asia, betul tak? The treatment. Road Asia. Okay. So this one for all the salary related, there's nothing to do lah. Payroll. Okay. Semua payroll, there's nothing to do. Everything payroll, EPF, bonus, semua nothing. Okay. Okay. Staff medical, part of payroll lah or claims lah. Claims policy. Okay, claims policy. Apply the 3 steps. If company pay to clinic directly, get e-invoice.
nobody
Okay.
hotel staff individual one. Can you raise options?
Okay. Betul tak macam ni? Medical fee. So staff medical fee ada dua jenis. If panel clinic, company bayar dekat klinik directly, then the company should get an e-invoice from the clinic. Betul? Kalau staff sendiri pergi tengok doktor and staff sendiri bayar and claim back from the company, technically the staff also need to request for e-invoice from the clinic. Katalah ada RM70. Ya. So bila you bayar the RM70, you mintalah e-invoice from the clinic. Ya. Boleh? Ya. Okay. Okay. Question? Rental of staff accommodation. Yeah. So rental of staff accommodation, what you do is you pay to the landlord, right? It's the same thing as rental of office rental, same treatment. Yeah, same treatment. The staff accommodation depends on landlord if e-invoice is required. Okay. Individual landlord not conducting business. So can you give me an answer? It's self-bill, right? Self-bill e-invoice. Okay. If landlord is conducting business, if landlord is business or conducting business, get e-invoice from landlord. Betul? Can. Right. Next one. Okay, advertising and promotion, same. Whatever that is, get the e-invoice from your supplier. Yep, same. Get company. Okay, tengok. This one, Singapore company. Yeah. This one is self-bill e-invoice. Okay? Faham. Accommodation. Kalau dia team building, getlah supplier invoice, e-invoice, betul? Local hotel booking, get e-invoice from hotel. Kalau international hotel, what do? International hotel, okay. If it goes through staff claim, no need to self-bill. If you go through staff claim, no need to self-bill. Yeah. If the company pay directly to the hotel, then you self-bill. Yes. So it's easier if it goes through staff claim. Yeah. So meaning, for example, this company director, his name is Ronnie. Ronnie travels to overseas a lot. Dia bayar hotel lah, Grab lah, makan lah, minum, all the overseas expenses. Yeah, he come back and then he claim. Yeah, so won't get e-invoice, right? So if the staff policy sudah cover, okay, no problem. No need self-bill, no need. Yeah, under staff claim, yes. Actually, personal purpose, sepatutnya tak boleh masuk P&L terus. Yes, yes. Yang tu, yang mana? Untuk klien mana? Oh, if personal purpose kan, dia terus tak boleh charge to the P&L dah. It's personal mah. Tak boleh masukkan dalam kos syarikat. Betul? Okay. Any question? Don't have, Local. Okay. Get e-invoice from supplier. Over here. Overseas. Apply. Step 3, no actions. Normal receipts. Okay. So petrol, toll and parking. Petrol, toll and parking. Okay. So petrol, toll and parking got 3 scenario. Okay. So petrol, toll and parking boleh dalam 3 scenario kan. So petrol, let's talk about petrol. Okay. So petrol can be petrol allowance, right? A fixed amount every month. Katalah fixed 500 per month. Okay. This one, Evercare. Ada siapa Evercare? Ini Evercare. Example, Evercare got this petrol allowance or traveling allowance. Okay. So your petrol, you can also claim via receipt. Pergi pump petrol, you claim the exact amount on the receipt. Betul? Let me see, allowance, receipt. It can be in terms of mileage, the KM. Okay. Okay. So the e-invoice treatment is for allowance, nothing that you need to do. Nothing. E-invoice, nothing to do. Nothing to do. What is, it will be included under the EA form for the staff. Betul? So if it is, they claim via the receipt, so you need to get the staff to get e-invoice. Get e-invoice in company name. So siapa-siapa yang submit the petrol punya the slip, kena dapatkan e-invoice lah. So for mileage claim, there is nothing to do. This is covered under staff claim policy. So got different treatment. Satu benda aja got three different treatment depending on what is the nature. Faham? Boleh. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So when I say staff claim policy, right, there are three levels of staff claim policy. So staff claim policy says that to the extent possible, get the e-invoice in the company name. It cannot get the e-invoice in the staff name. If cannot, the company can accept normal receipt. Yeah. Pay by credit card for petrol. Okay, you see, a payment method is a separate thing. Even you pay by credit card, also got the receipt on. Yeah, so we follow the supporting document, not the payment method. The receipt. Yeah. Yes. Pay use actually for accounting entry, use the credit card statement is not enough one. They don't give you the receipt, right? They only give you the credit card statement. It's not enough. Don't talk about e-invoice, but for accounting entry also technically it's not enough.
I think the only one that's not allowed is the credit card.
Right? Receipt. That one cannot. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Boleh? So you pay by credit card also for the petrol, need to tekan the receipt, cetak receipt and take the receipt. Yeah. Kalau semua tak ada, company don't approve the staff claim. So when we say the 3-step staff claim policy, right, is this one? 3 steps. Staff claim policy. Okay, right. So we have already prepared, I think it's a 4-page staff claim policy. It's in the review process. We will implement it for InTune. We will give you a copy and we will also implement it for all our clients. This one, 3-step staff claim policy. Okay, boleh? Staff claim mileage. Okay. Follow the 3-step staff claims policy. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
The money lost in the robbery.
Yeah. Okay, in e-invoice, is it? You police summon the report as part of the expense? Yeah. Yes. Yes, correct. You use the police report as a supporting document to charge the expense? Yeah, business, yeah, BAU.
From our accounting side, it's actually more
yeah.
That loss is claimed in the insurance. Then you have payment from the insurance compensation for the business. Then they will give us.
Yes, they will need.
Yeah.
But if there's no insurance cover, then it's just accounting.
Okay, right. Okay, so everything to do with tax, income tax, withholding tax, sales and service tax, there is nothing you need to do. You tak payah buat apa-apa. You buat kerja BAU saja. Yeah. You don't need to go and get an e-invoice or whatever from all the tax departments. Everything relating to tax, even zakat. Yeah. There's nothing you need to do, business as usual. Okay? Boleh? So the zakat receipt is good enough as a supporting document, as a proof of expense is good enough. Okay? Okay. See, the PTN is tolong bayar sahaja mah. I tolong the staff to bayar sahaja. So part of the EA form already. What? Let's say the staff, okay, you see, so the PTN is like this. The staff punya gaji is RM100. I tolak, let's say RM20 from the staff punya gaji to bayar PTN. So this one is not a company expense. It's not inverted in my P&L. Yeah. So when I report the EA form from the staff, I report 100. I'm not reporting 80. So no e-invoice action required. Yep. Faham? Okay. So now I've done one Road Asia with you. So now with this knowledge, you are going to do whatever exercise that you are doing. So the AA and AE will discuss, and then the senior will check the answers. Okay. How much time you need them? You give them? Huh? 30 minutes, huh? Okay, so I'll give you a 5-minute toilet break now. 5-minute toilet break. You come back in 5 minutes. Then I'll give you 30 minutes to do your exercise. Kalau you habis cepat, you angkat tangan. Then we know that you are done. Okay? Okay, AA and AE will do. Yeah, seniors will check. Okay, help yourself with the snacks here. Yeah. This one is an example of imported goods. Later we cover. Yes, we need to cover that one also. We let them finish first. System so far okay? Is it too slow? No, not too slow.
40% 工資出10%，佢一定有一個 basis 咁樣。我哋嘅 incentive 都係咁噶嘛，我哋有一個擺質咗噶嘛。你 just table 就 account 啲嘢先係咁多類，學生係咁多類，食 I 咁多類。你我哋都話 charge 佢落嘢貨，但我哋或佢有啲講，OK，老闆攞多啲，manager 攞多啲，senior 攞少啲啊，佢未必啊，佢要問咯。如果佢知佢要問佢，但唔需要做 no invoice nothing 咯。
你上面有两个材料的名字，因为呢，这样好像
Yes.
那些高知马道，你这个下两家还有。
Okay, if you're already back, your team is back, you can start on your case study. You write what you need, the treatment at the site. Use the P&L, you write. So this whole table do IMA, is it? Okay. Synergy. Okay. So I give you 30 minutes. Semua sudah balik, yang ini belum balik. Ngồi tin không?
Under the smart 你撳咪要瞓覺，
Oh,
你唔需要瞓落。
oh.
So let just set the light off.
Okay, so you start on your exercises, like what I did with Rogue Asia just now. You write down the treatment, okay? Then we will discuss. Then your senior will check, tengok betul ke tak? So I'll give you 30 minutes. You want me to cover the classification codes or it can be a later stage? Cover. I can cover lah. This one will be relevant. So I will cover the 9 prescribed circumstances. But from the 9, there are I think about 4 or 5 not applicable. So you actually got 5 only. Yeah, self-bill code. And the product classification code.
No, principal. Tell us it's all back end. Even I rebut to my one. He thinks it's all back end. They do. So to him, this is sure.
His claim, no, then his whatever things that comes back, it needs to be, they are starting to request for e-invoice.
A lot of things under staff claim. The second part of staff claim.
POB. Yeah, POB.
There's a lot.
They need to request for e-invoice. Yeah.
But a lot is via LASTA, overseas platform. Some could be self-bill. Question the answer is, do we get from the G something Singapore platform or the vendors?
Why isn't it the vendor is sitting on the platform? Then the platform will be the one issuing.
So that means vendor one is the platform one is good enough.
Yeah, it's good enough. Because for example, Blessed Baby sell barang on Shopee. So Shopee is the one that is going to give e-invoice to the customer. Janice no need. Yeah.
So he is whoever that run the project, they will go and source their own procurement. So they will order from Singapore platform or whatever platform. So when come in, the company may pay using their card whatever. I said that's beside the point. It's the procurement process.
Yes, procurement. It's not a payment. Payment is a separate thing. Yeah.
So the meeting is quite an interactive meeting. However, it's under perception it's back anything, not front end. I disagree with that. But he's gonna be. So there need to be another meeting to close it. Because today a lot of them.
Okay.
So it's interesting because halfway through explain like we got confused. So when because too many things are actually under staffing. It's not like you go and buy. Vendor give me the by company.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff.
Okay, so let me see. So under staff claim will be
So I think Mega Thomas will have the same thing. Because it got so many sites, right?
Yeah.
Those who are at site will buy. Yeah, people should have same thing also.
Okay.
A lot come via staff claim.
Okay. Where is
Jenny's too much to be able to. I think we talk a bit about the board research. Income, we have something also.
Okay, you can. Information required. Okay. Never mind, I copy this one over. So I find that my theory is also a bit long.
I use this one actually.
External and internal.
This one, right? There's something that will be confused with the commission. You don't understand. You copy this one.
You copy first. Okay. Where is the PowerPoint? Okay. Even the review of P&L got some more one. But I think I not enough time already. I straight away. Okay. Self-bill. The 9 circumstances of self-bill. All the stuff is below 5. Everything. Okay. Okay, self-bill. That means I may need to run the self-bill thing here. Self-bill e-invoice.
Self-bill, best is to use report to run. If they are choice new level, only need to report. Means nobody go and find. Cannot be all the time person come to two of us now.
Yeah. So I feel that needs to have more training for staff. Yeah, not just
Then we see the result from this half an hour. People can spread all people.
So the cross-border transaction got a lot of questions. Okay, never mind. We look at our client one, whether got so many, so complicated or not. Because this one is very complicated scenario. Yeah.
The dropping and all that. Let's come in only.
Yeah.
So far, also is very challenging. One K1,
One supplier invoice.
but we lost all the documents. Very cold. So kita when do I think the cost will low. I have a few because I asked him I cannot get into it.
Okay. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Copy.
Okay, put somewhere.
It's in. Mission required. Okay. Okay. So I cover this one. Okay, snapshot.
Maybe you want to kill them.
Yeah.
They a lot of
Yeah. Okay, recap using which one?
if they are able to tell you that they are doing something, they are quite there. If they are not,
Just assume the role of the supplier is very confusing one. So don't want to
use it.
Yeah. This jargon, yeah, no.
Very, I already told my girl, we don't use it.
Yeah, my God. This one is confused also.
Yeah.
This one. So only applicable is 1, 2, profit distribution, 3,
E-commerce.
4.
This one don't have.
No. E-commerce.
The overseas e-commerce to buy. I thought don't have.
I thought this one apply to Shopee, Lazada, and TikTok. Yeah.
This one is the overseas e-commerce. The 10 punya section, remember? Got one actually. The thing got a lot of this. Most overseas platform
Buy from Amazon and Taobao lah.
chemical.
Okay, self bill lor, that one lor. So if they faham, if they buy from TikTok and all that, Shopee and Lazada, they would yeah. Okay. This one no need lor. This one is not applicable. This one we rate it lah. We rate it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This one, taxpayer that makes the distribution. Actually, I don't like to this one.
Actually, if you pay to if it is self, single tier, no need.
No need ma, kan?
Section 1 only. Yes.
So, do we have client that require this? I don't think so.
Very rare.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. So, whenever got profit distribution, then only check with us. Yeah. So, rather than we teach them, which is not applicable.
But they need to be aware.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we will skip this thing on.
Okay, can. Interest payment, business or individuals other than bank. Yeah. Claims.
If some client they charge customer late interest. YH got.
Yeah, okay. Capital reduction and all that.
Very rare. Unless kita do bonus issue.
Okay lah, we put rate first lah. So out of the 9, 5 only. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, I only rate 3 color. 3. So out of the 9, only 6. ADD, imported. This one is also quite rare. Okay. I think I want to delete this two. This two makes people very confused.
Actually, this one's still okay. I use this one actually.
Supplier. Buyer.
Whatever that.
Our client, so I think I delete this one. Yeah, it's in the columns. Our client, we put there.
They just put there, pay lah.
Type of transactions. When payment is made, Okay. Okay, never mind. You go and see whether they need anything or not.
The instruction is here. And the instruction how to do that. I think do your please.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you look at the P&L, you also need to know who are the customers and suppliers, not just the nature of the expense in P&L. Because if the customer and the supplier status is different, individual, non-individual, it affects your e-invoice treatment. Okay. So seniors, you can go around and check their work. Yeah.
Bill our bill us 3,500 as the individual.
要去 confirm 佢你幾時發 e-invoice 你問佢知唔知？你講睇下佢係7月1號 start 或者係1月1號 start。
係 payment to individual name 嘅話，我哋或者你啦。
係啱。佢 payment to individual name， 但係佢嘅單係咪 individual name OK。
如果單唔係 individual name， 但係 payment is individual name，
我哋 follow invoice。follow invoice。So 佢係 sole prop 咯，佢係 sole prop。OK， so he is a business。你咁樣睇嘅，你點樣睇？係 expense
佢係 local 咯，你跟住佢係 under individual，
唔係佢係 non-individual 係 sole prop。
individual 嘅，要問佢係咪呢個先咯。如果佢唔係 under 呢個嘅話，就係我乜 invoice。梗係呢個咯，係呢啲傻啲咯。
Yeah。
仲有一樣嘢，我知道係咪要問兩個 major questions？
嗰個唔猜㗎，嗰個我要睇。Sorry， 真係唔得。
另外一個咧係要問你嗰個係
bank，OK。係。
直銷健康你嗰就係
我會俾嗰個獎咯。
而家就問就
兩個啦，OK 明白。你有 text 我嘛係咪？
一直仲有一樣就係我哋你做after我哋做咗我哋啲人，我哋係咪可以 close 咗佢？
可以，唔可以俾佢喐，係可以 close the books 嘅。lock 咗佢，佢哋每month可以。Actually every month 都可以 close 嘅，可以嘅。
我哋 once audit 咗
就 close 咗佢，
入咗係最好。如果有 review 就
OK 可以得。頭先嗰個Carlos 嗰隻係咪？係。
嗰隻係咪佢係有6個？Malaysia Invoice 嚟嘅喎，
係啱，所以應該Carlos 嘅應該係呢個嚟嘅。我唔相信佢係佢係 Malaysia 嘅，Carlos 係 Malaysia。So 係咪？你問佢喂，你啲 invoice 幾時得啊？我覺得呢個係呢個嚟嘅。呢個
係頭先我都有諗到，因為我睇到佢嘅 invoice 係標 in
The currency is not important. The name of the company that deal that one is we follow that one.
係咪要 send？好似我睇成啲supplier叫我填我哋 company tax number，
係啱。
我哋唔必要對方用。
係我唔係 ，so for usually 係 for 我哋嘅 customers。So 其實啦，我哋唔需要問 customer 都得嘅，有一個地方我哋可以揾嘅，which maybe 可以教 Sharma 點樣去揾，或者係我哋可以叫 Jared 幫 InTune 做埋個 team search。for 我哋嘅 customers 嗰個 the team know what to do already. Either we get Jared to do for us for InTune or Jared to teach Sharma where to search.
Better teach for me.
OK 可以。OK can. That means write all the team number, business registration number, and yeah, and the SIS number. That one can search online one. Our staff have been doing it. 我同 Josephine 講，要同房機講。So yeah, so you need to get all the info and tabulate inside the customer profile. So they also don't know what to do. Our team know what to do, they don't know what to do it. Yeah. So I will get Jared, right, who's doing all the team search and all, right, to teach Sharma and Susan. Team search, team number, BRN, and
Jared hasn't started. Atika will start. Atika, okay.
Jared doing that. Are they going to teach somebody? Then I get two of them to
17.
17.
Yeah, earlier lah. Very fast only one.
Okay, Atika or Harry, they know what to do. Jared don't know it. She's still new.
Atika, Mira, Sabrina, Harry, they all know how to do it.
You sit in. They ask for time. Then you can start to search for all our clients. Yeah.
He got a very short 3 minutes video. You can use that also. But if you pick up and share, otherwise you ask you to teach 3 minutes only.
3 minutes video. Watch the video. Yeah. Then you start to populate for all our active clients. No? The resigned client don't care already. Yeah. Okay, sini sudah start check ke? Ada pen merah?
10 more minutes.
Okay, 10 more minutes. Pen merah ada tak? Shopping. This one, right? I feel that this one is relating to the Shopee, Lazada, TikTok. No? That means this one should be red also. The one that they buy from overseas should be under imported services or goods.
I checked Ken's menu.
Yeah. Shopee.
I think it's the same one. This under the specific guidance e-commerce, which is also the 9 I can bring up.
Okay, never mind. Let me put the e-commerce first.
I need to proceed with the audit first lah, while waiting for you.
Boleh, boleh.
因為而家佢好似等緊你嗰兩個你先。
OK，我會俾個 journal。It's just to this is the journal entry。
E-commerce.
So now, see e-commerce overseas local. Local is Shopee, TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the same guidance. This one, the source is different. Specific guidance is part. I will go back to source.
Very good.
Local one is like what you say, no? Overseas one is following.
This is a sample of Shopee here.
So this one can know if they can get invoice is better.
Yeah lah, they get from Shopee and Lazada.
So our concern is some of them using foreign. So that they ask can in this situation, when do I do
buyer? Okay. Sell goods to buyer, foreign e-commerce platform. Goods. Purchase goods buyer, issue self-bill. Self-bill? Sell, that means I'm selling on, that means this is income and expense. Income. Yeah.
Because we don't have client here.
Okay. Customer, local. This one foreign only one.
What?
So that means foreign is under imported services?
Yes.
Betul tak? And whether imported e-commerce transaction.
I think it's e-commerce.
E-commerce platform.
Yeah. The data should be under e-commerce. E-commerce has got own category one.
Issue self-bill.
Okay. This one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can.
So yesterday when we were discussing, we were also confused whether it's under import services or e-commerce. I think it's e-commerce.
Under e-commerce.
Yeah.
So this one, so I should e-commerce buy from Taobao, right? Yeah.
Overseas.
Buy from Amazon.
Yeah. Yours I asked, can this one sell bill? When do I issue? You said there's no date being mentioned. So my suggestion is for the policy, when I start purchase, I receive the bill to sell bill.
So we time it together with the accounting entry. Yeah, okay. Buy from Amazon. This one, right? This one, right?
Yes.
So that means the common one is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 very common. Not so common is profit distribution 5. Yeah, there is 5 and 7. Like the hard knocks and so got 3 not applicable. Okay,
They do invoice, really got one invoice.
Okay.
Yeah, actually.
Okay. Right. Self-bill. Okay, so got 9. Okay, so got 9. Applicable is not applicable.
You
Not
can ask them to
applicable.
pick up. By now they should be able to see.
Yeah, sometimes. Common. Sometimes. Not applicable.
The one that I don't understand is the Tommy's one. Show you.
Okay, siapa sudah habis angkat tangan? Sudah habis angkat tangan? Tinggi sikit, I tak boleh nampak. Sudah habis angkat tangan? Student team habis ready nak? Belum habis. Mau berapa minit lagi? Okay, sudah habis? Senior sudah check angkat tangan? Siapa sudah habis? Senior sudah check angkat tangan? Okay, sudah. Macam mana markah mereka? Boleh pas? 80. Okay, nampak? Later group by group will present. Okay? We want them to present or not? Yeah.
What's the difference?
Semua kan? Boleh, ya.
Individuals that buy service, depending on whether individual doing business or not.
Correct. If they are not doing business, we self-bill. If we are doing business, we need to kepo and ask them, oh, if you are doing business, when are you going to be e-invoice compliant?
So if they are not doing business,
How do we know?
they provide the service.
Okay, there is a business test one. The business test, actually in my full training got the business test. Number one, whether they do it frequently. If they do it once a while, like once a year, I need to do hamper, they are not doing business. How frequent they do it? And then if they, number one, number two, profit motive. If they are doing it because they want to profit and they also PRIs both, that one is doing business.
Freelance, subscription.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. For example, the fellow have a full-time job. At night, sometimes or weekend, got extra side income want to do. People ask, do you do? He doesn't actively go out and seek for business. That one is transaction with individuals who are not doing business. How do we know? We need to ask, and then we need to see whether they got tell the truth or not. But we will just base it based on whatever they tell. If the fellow don't have full-time employment, the job is only full-time freelance. Obviously, is doing business. So if they're doing business, then we need to ask, when are you going to be e-invoice compliant? Then they say, oh no, my whole year is only less than 150,000. Then it exempted, so they don't need to give me an e-invoice. If you feel that they are doing business and they are more than 150,000, give me an e-invoice. You need to be e-invoice registered. The conversation should go like this.
Then, not free, part-time. Self-bill.
Self-bill, yes. A lot to learn. Okay. Alright. Okay, this one ada sikit lagi ya. Page, this one berapa banyak? Sudah siap. Senior check dulu, okay? Sampai mana? Oh, banyak lagi. Dua-dua doing hard knocks. Oh, okay. Kenapa lambat sangat? Okay. Okay, I think we cannot wait some more. We will present whatever you have first, okay? Okay, Chop. So you stop at wherever you are, and then you can continue when we finish. Yeah. So for now, I want whoever who's ready. Let's start with Shamsin. Come to the front. Say your client name. Say whether it's B2B or B2C, and then go through your P&L. So the rest tolong dengar, and then see whether the treatment is correct or not. Okay? Okay? Shamsin, siapa? Okay. Memang yours one you tunggu sekejap, nanti you sambung bila ada masa. Okay? So okay. Okay, so for now you stop first. You pay your attention to that side. So you stop first, yeah? You stop first, you pay your attention to that side. You see whether they actually correct or not. Okay. Yes? Louder. Okay. Okay, B to G and also B to B, right? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, betul. All right. Okay. Cost of sales and expenses?
Void. The bill. Kalau supplier tu apa dia?
Okay, dia ada foreign supplier tak? Okay, dia beli apa? Nah, you go through. Yes.
Ada supplier, kita bila tu kalau orang daripada satu mungkin akan bilang kalau pay
Stop. Alex, can you stop the music first? Thank you. Okay. Okay, ulang sekali lagi. Freelance. Dia ada freelance wages yang dia bayar. Okay?
what do you think?
Yeah.
Confirm.
Okay, betul tak? The treatment.
Kita tahu dia dengan itu replacement.
Okay.
Mixing two.
There are two things inside there. Okay, sure. So, anybody can support this one? The treatment tak betul. The freelance, yeah, got payment for wages, freelance. Yeah.
Freelance cover kita boleh.
Okay. Okay, never mind. I teach. Okay. So whenever in your P&L, if there's an expense, yeah, it's an expense, pay to an individual name. Cakap lah Yong Lily. Okay. I pay to Yong Lily. So the first question you need to ask is it conducting business? Not conducting business. Okay. If it is not conducting business, self-bill. Okay. If Yong Lily is conducting business, you need to be even more kepo. You need to ask Yong Lily, hey, Yong Lily, your one sales per year, right? Is it more than 150,000 or less than 150,000? Okay. So if more than 150,000, what must you do? Ask for an e-invoice, betul. Okay. If less than 150,000? Normal receipt. Business as usual, BAU. So self-bill, later I will go into more detail on the self-bill. Okay? So macam tu. So just now you already mixed up some of it. Yeah. Kalau there's a payment to individual, yeah, you need to tell your client to ask their supplier, are they in business or are they not in business? Okay. Sometimes, how do I know whether it's in business or not? Or what kind of questions to ask? Okay. So this one, you need to do some tests. Okay, business or not. What are some of the tests? You need to find out whether the person is doing it regularly. Okay, example regularly macam mana? Okay, katalah Yong Lily, if I have a full-time job and I am maybe doing bookkeeping part-time because my father asked me to help him in the business. So am I in the business of providing bookkeeping? Am I here or here? I have a full-time job. And then sometimes my friends or my mom and dad ask me to help them to do bookkeeping. Okay? So am I conducting business or not conducting business? Not conducting business because it's not regular. Okay? Okay, not regular. This is not my regular rice bowl. Okay? So if it's not conducting business, self-bill. Okay, for example, Yong Lily, I don't have employment with InTune. My only cari makan is I go and do freelance bookkeeping for many companies. under Yong Lily. I didn't set up a sole proprietor or Semirian Berhad. So am I conducting business? Yes. So even though I operate under my personal name, I'm conducting business because that's where I cari makan. I do it frequently. And my motive is to make money to feed myself. So I'm conducting business. Then you need to ask your client to ask whether it's more than 150,000 a year or less. Kalau more than 150,000 a year, you need to tell your client to get an e-invoice from Yong Lily. Tak kira lah, this one must give an e-invoice. But my business is so kecil, yeah, that one year is only 150,000. Then that is BAU lah, exempted. Yong Lily tak payah register for e-invoice because Yong Lily is exempted. My business is so kecil, janganlah kasih saya susah, right? I need to comply e-invoice very susah, right? For me, I'm such a small business. So my normal invoice will be sufficient. Okay? Yeah. So what you need to do is when you have payment to individual, kena kepo lah. Kena kepo. Yeah. So later we actually already have a template. Yeah. I have a template for people to confirm back because it's very hard to ask some questions, right? Sometimes to ask is a bit confusing or very difficult to ask. We get the person to just sign back whether they which category they fall into. Okay? Faham? So there's a difference. Self-bill e-invoice. Okay? Self-bill can only be issued to individuals who are not conducting business. Yeah? Faham? Yeah. Okay, good. From here now. Boleh ya? Okay, next one. Okay. Yes. Okay, so when it comes to Nurul Izzah, right? So you need to kepo a bit, need to assess whether conducting business or not conducting business. Okay, tak boleh terus nampak saja nama you buat self bill. No, it's not like that. So you need to do some test. Okay. Apa? Sorry? What purchase? Oh, cost of sales trading.
Quantum system,
Okay, imported goods. Yeah.
So how about the timing? And what do you look at? Invoice.
Okay, never mind. We'll teach later. Okay, just now I explained imported service, right? So imported service is next month end. Kalau imported goods, dia bagi masa lebih lama, dalam 2 bulan. Okay, 2 bulan dari mana? 2 bulan dari K1 form. Masa barang tu masuk melalui custom. Yeah, so services, there is no custom, it's through email, etc., right? But if there's a barang, so it will melalui custom. Okay, custom. So when the barang melalui custom, okay, melalui custom, you will get a K1 form. Okay, from the K1 form got the date one, okay, so it's 2 months from the custom clearance date. 2 months. If the barang masuk bulan June, the last date you need to issue self bill is July, August, June, July, August 31st. This is the last day to self bill. Yeah.
Depends the earlier of clearance of custom or bill.
Yeah, invoice date. Yeah. So just now the service also got two date, payment date or invoice date, the earlier of the two. So this one also the same. Got the 2 dates, custom clearance date or the invoice date, whichever is earlier, campur 2 bulan, the last day of the second bulan. So that means for imported goods, you get 2 months plus 2 months. Imported services plus 1 month. Yeah, you need to do the self-bill. Yeah. Okay? Yep. Okay, that's good. Okay, next one. Ada income, interest income, is it? Interest income dari mana? Global tax free. Interest income dari global apa tu? Oh. Oh. Okay, so it's the income from foreigners lah. Okay, the treatment is income, is it? Okay, so self-bill, is it for income or for expense? So self-bill hanya untuk expense. Jangan confuse ya. Self-bill is for expense. So if this is an income, tak kira lah main income or other income, you are receiving income from overseas, what do you do? No. You issue e-invoice. Yeah. Sales issue e-invoice. Huh? Huh? Yeah. You baca apa yang you tulis. Okay. My job is to confuse you. Yes. Yeah. So, okay. So, you issue e-invoice. It's a sales. Self-bill hanya untuk expense. Okay, tak apa. Kita belajar sama-sama. Okay? Yeah. Next one. Jangan discuss. You dengar. Dengar dia. Yes, betul. Semua sales issue e-invoice. Tak kira local ke foreigner. Foreign customer, local customer issue e-invoice saja. Sales lah yang senang. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this one is the other income. Bank gives some interest or give some cash rebate. So it's other income. Anything to do with local bank, what do you do? I do nothing. Okay, I get a self-bill from the bank. Okay, no, I get an income, right? Income, expense. Bank, yeah, I get a self-bill from the bank. Yeah. Apa-apa berkenaan dengan bank, just get from the bank. Yeah. Okay. Okay, boleh. Yeah. Okay, next one. Sama. Okay, tak apa. Okay. Okay. Okay, all right. Expense, get an e-invoice from your supplier. Okay? Okay. Sama? Kuat sikit supaya belakang pun boleh dengar. Okay, Cok. Accrue. You say accrue, right? Okay, kalau buat accrual, accounting entry, what do you do? Business. Yes, betul. Bila you dapat the audit, the invoice from the accounting firm, baru you enter the expense lah and support the e-invoice as a supporting. Okay? Okay.
Bank charges is bank income. E-invoice from bank.
Tolong dia. Receipts. Yeah, receipts. Okay.
Then we press it. And then the right
The three steps lah. Three steps are claim, okay?
press
Hmm. Hmm.
the
Disposal
for the this and that.
Hmm. Dia gain ke dia loss?
of
So,
common. So, question on gain or loss or on the profit.
okay, Najia tolong.
Company side.
Okay, okay, tak apa. Ha.
So is it gain or loss? Yang you buat invoice on that amount or proceed? Senior guide.
100 ringgit.
What is the difference between gain and loss and profit? Hello? You know the difference between gain and loss and profit? If you faham, you say faham. If you faham, you say faham. Profit, I draw the car for 50,000. That's the profit I receive from the dealer. Gain or loss? Is it same with profit? No. Now you understand the difference between profit and gain or loss? Okay, now you can understand.
Proceed is the harga jualan. Proceed is the harga jualan. So the e-invoice should be on the harga jualan or on here? Gain or loss? On the proceed, yeah. Okay. So if you sell it, right, then it's on the e-invoice on the proceed lah, 100. Yeah. Bukan on the profit. Okay. Trade in. Okay. So even though if you trade in, right, you actually have a cost that you sell to them, the selling price to them. So use that one. So whatever that the selling price is also part of the proceed. Yeah. Trade in is just exchange of good, but it doesn't this one. Yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Cara bayaran sahaja. Yeah.
Station, you pay by cash, you pay by credit card, you pay by Grab.
You want them to go through everything or we go through another one? Okay, okay. Okay, you continue a few more, then we go to the next group. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so maybe for the rest, right? Kalau yang request e-invoice, you tak payah go through. Ada special transaction saja, you go through. Yeah, Najia, which one? Tak payah go through every line. Only got special transactions saja, like sell bill and all you. Payroll, yes. So there is nothing you need to do. BAU. BAU. Okay. Bagus.
No.
1, 2, 3. Step 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Receipt from the JPJ aja. Okay. Okay. Perlu buat apa-apa tak untuk e-invoice? Nothing. Okay. Bagus. Pandai. Okay. Receipt from them. That's okay. No e-invoice required. Okay, Ken. Good job. Okay. Good job for taking the risk. Yep. Okay. Next group. Siapa mau attempt? If you have a very unique business, yeah, you can also come and share. Okay. Ecofund. Okay. Okay.
10 minutes.
So I'm gonna give you 10 minutes each. Yeah. Oh. Yes. Okay. You can.
I want what without putting.
Okay. Okay.
Company name, Lisa.
Okay, for the company name that we doing now is Ecofen. Ecofen is B2C, which business to consumer. So overall, for the sales part, we can issue a consolidated e-invoice. And then for the COS, got delivery charges, purchases, accessory, hearing aids. This one, we are the one who monitor because they use QuickBook for the inventory. So kita issue e-invoice
Cost of bill.
itu e-invoice lah.
Check. Cost. Okay.
Okay.
Cost, what do you do? Sales, you issue e-invoice.
Salah. Request e-invoice.
So, when the look at so what do you do?
So first,
Inventorize means every time you sell, the cost of sales will charge to P&L. So does the cost of sales tie to the supplier invoice?
cost of sales tak.
So what do you do? I am specific to the purchaser. During it, dia beli dari mana?
Dari supplier.
Overseas.
Hearing aid.
Every
Local.
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 Local. So what do you do?
Request e-invoice.
Yes. So those are the questions you have to think through when you do it. So the client is the one that gives the stock in. Siapa yang AP invoice? Client tu kita.
AP kita.
AP kita. Tapi stock in, siapa buat stock in?
Client.
Client buat stock in. When client do stock, would be already posted. Oh, dia guna PO. Okay. Right. So we are the one that post. So you make sure that it's e-invoice from the client. Also, they import from Singapore. Even
If from Singapore, if from overseas, then it will be a self-bill.
self-bill. Imported goods.
Okay, and then the next one, expenses. Admin expenses, got consultancy fee. One we paid for overseas, so that one we request for self-bill. And then entertainment, we will apply the 3-step staff claim process. And then for the entertainment consultation, we
for one
individual request.
Okay, for Ang Aikwa, this is from overseas. So
Kita request self-bill.
Okay.
it's a issue self-bill.
Issue self-bill, yeah. Okay, so yeah, what? So what do you mean by self-bill? Okay, self-bill is like I bill myself. Self-bill is, as the name says, sendiri bill sendiri lah, self-bill. Okay, so when we say sendiri bill sendiri, it's Ecofen bill Ecofen. So I am not requesting anything from overseas. Overseas tu dia tak peduli about Malaysia. So this is, that means you. That means our InTune team yang bayar to the right? She lives overseas, right?
So when you do the bayaran or when you key in the AP invoice, that's when InTune will do the self-bill. Yeah, it's a delivery service.
Issue survey. Okay.
The issue service.
Okay, and then next, gift and donation. For donation, we receipt is sufficient. Kalau gift, depends if buy from supplier, then have to request for e-invoice lah. And then license fee, we request for receipt. And then stamping fee, registration, request for receipt or depends registration tak apa lah.
Anything to do with government, request for donation. So, okay, so just now you said donation, right?
Mm-mm.
Let's say if Ecopen makes a donation, let's say to organization, actually the step is to ask for e-invoice. Yeah. So it's not receipt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Receipt that is business as usual. Yeah, whatever that you're doing lah. So donation, tell your client, ask for e-invoice. Yeah. Because temple, churches, masjid, semua pun kena issue e-invoice. Masjid tak? Masjid tak? Yeah, you know. Not exempted. But it's not part of the exempted.
Donation tu masih tak boleh claim.
Right. Not tax exempted lah. But I'm not sure.
And then next is the tenancy agreement renewal fee. This one have to ask the landlord whether it's under, we check with the tenancy agreement, either individual or company. If individual, then we issue self-bill. If company, then we request for e-invoice. Then next is bank and card charges. This one, bank will issue the e-invoice. And then same for the interest for hire purchase and platform commission charges from merchant services. That one will request for e-invoice. And then advertising from Facebook and Google Ads, we will issue self-bill. And then mileage claim is based on the 3-step staff claim. Motor insurance also, we will based on the e-invoice, request for e-invoice.
Insurance, yeah.
Insurance.
So motor, there's a difference between insurance and road tax. Okay. So insurance we get from IATA, Adianta.
Okay, and then road tax is receipt of and then upkeep of motor vehicle, we see whether it's by staff claim or pay directly to any of the supplier. Then if supplier, if it's e-invoice or staff claim, we apply the 3-step.
Okay, for the electricity charge, internet charge, to request the invoice. Okay, for rental link, check whether company or individual. If
company e-invoice.
Company request the invoice, the individual to like that, conducting
Conducting business or not conducting business, okay? It's not conducting business or not doing business.
Safely.
Okay. All right. So utility bill, yeah. So utility bill, you need to see who the landlord is. Right? So utility bills and rental follow the same treatment. Yeah. Remember I said that utility bills, kalau you the landlord, individuals, what you do is best to go and get them to change the name of the electric, water, Indah water to change into the Ecopen punya nama. That is the best. So Ecopen ada banyak rental, right?
Yes.
It's got different branches. So you need to look at each branch, who is the landlord, and look at the utility bills atas nama siapa. Branch number 2, look at the landlord and the utility bill. So you need to look at 4 or 5 different branches for the rental and for the utility. So you need that.
Mm-mm.
And then after that, you look at it already, you need to go to your senior and see what is the treatment that is needed.
Mm.
So for the director remuneration, all masuk payroll, so business as usual.
Pandai.
So,
Staff communities. 3-step staff plateau.
Are you following? Yeah. When we do a few more, then we do. Any special, any other specialty? No, we go to the next.
Staff amenities, this one we will apply the 3-way staff team. And then staff payroll salary, business as usual. Okay, and then for the traveling tickets, this one also, if staff claim, we will check whether it's either staff claim, sama ada receive, we request e-invoice. Kalau pay direct, sekejap salah, pening dah. Kalau local, kita request e-invoice. Kalau kita, staff claim untuk air tickets to overseas, kita akan apply the 3-step staff claim. It's either e-invoice, kita tengok e-invoice atas nama company atau atas nama staff.
Kalau saya overseas supplier, example, I take Qatar Airways. Qatar Airways is overseas, right?
Kata we issue self-bill.
Okay, so if it's under staff claim, business as usual. All the directors of staff traveling overseas, example PIK and all that, they akan spend lepas tu mereka claim balik, right? All the overseas receipts and invoices can be accepted. We apply the third rule under staff claim. Yeah. No need self-bill. If under staff claim, third rules, no need to self-bill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then parking, petrol toll, this one we see also whether it's either under company or staff, or can accept a normal receipt. And last part is the forex, depreciation, SST and tax. This one is only for the accounting treatment, so no action.
Okay. All right. Good job. Okay, next group. Okay. Cepat-cepat. Cepat-cepat. Nanti. We got 3 more groups, 2 more groups to go.
Okay. So, we are presenting IMA is a society company. So the income basically come from membership fee and the grant from London. So for membership fee, it's a B2C. So basically we just issue a consolidated e-invoice in the 1 month before the deadline. So the grant from London Amnesty International, so it's the overseas company, so it's a B2B. So we issue e-invoice. Okay, so for other income, some things like payment for sticker fee for IMA, that one we will issue e-invoice as well. And for this one, IMA last year got a trade-in profit for the disposal of printer. So this one just now I asked, this one we will be issuing e-invoice. Yes, correct. So okay, that's all I think for the income. And then the expenses part, basically, IMA deal with supplier, or they will pay advance to the staff, then the staff will claim back later for the event. So basically the expenses are for events. So sometimes they will rent the venue for the event. So this one will be the rental expenses that considered as rental expenses. For the local supplier, then we will get the e-invoice. And then if the party is an individual not in business, then we will self-bill. In this case. And then for advertising expenses,
For advertising, campaign advertising, for example, like Facebook, social media, is like from overseas, so self-bill. And then AIM X Visa freedom of expression is local supplier, need to get the invoice. And then website and social media, same as advertising. And then campaign material, got two types, which is local, get the invoice, and then 3 step of staff claims. And then campaign others, self-bill from overseas. If it is overseas, need to self-bill, and then get the invoice is local supplier. And then campaign travel, mostly the travel will be like staff claims, need to use the 3 steps. And then membership, local supplier. If it is local supplier, need to get the invoice. And then campaign translation.
it's a freelancer.
The freelancer.
That also for individual conducting business, we will determine, we will ask if the individual is conducting business or not conducting business. If not conducting business, then self-bill. But if exceed 150K, we will request an e-invoice, and lower than 50K, 150K, then business as usual.
And then accounting fee, need to get the invoice. Audit fee, need to get the invoice also. Bank charges, need to get the invoice from the bank. Depreciation, accounting entry. And then donations and gift, local supplier need to get the invoice. Filing fee, get the receipt from the authority. Same goes to fine and penalty. Legal fees, get the invoice from the local supplier. Medical fee, under staff claims. Professional fee, need to get the invoice from the local supplier. And then recruitment fee, this is LinkedIn, so it is overseas, so need to do self-bill. Staff amenities, staff claims, 3 steps. And then stamp duty, need to get the receipt from the authority. Tax agent fee, need to get the invoice. And then training and seminar, need to use the 3 steps of staff claim and then e-invoice from the local supplier. Subscription, self-bill. Rental and premises from government and government.
In this case, IMA rental is from MBPJ, so it's a government center. So just get the receipt.
Then telephone charges, staff claim.
Nothing much. The utilities. So utilities, the one we will check if the address is billing to IMA or billing to the owner. I think in this case it's IMA because their rental owner is MBPJ.
Like bill, check water bill,
Yes.
nama. It's under IMA,
Yes.
very easy, just get the invoice.
Just get invoice.
If the electric bill, water bill is under MBPJ nama, then we
Then get receipt. Is that one need to change?
change.
Can
I don't think the
and
MBPJ will change your name. So
maybe receipt lah.
same treatment as rental. Utilities and the rental, pharma treatment. Same treatment.
Okay, thank you.
So, see next you.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Okay. Siapa dulu? You dulu. Okay, pegang.
Saya sendiri.
Okay, this company represented is Synergy Asia Sendian Berhad. The service they provide is like hires people to the company, so it's B2B, business to business. So their sales will issue individual invoice to the company. And they also the sales come from event, also individual e-invoice, issue the e-invoice. And they have the cost of sales for interview the candidate cost. I think it's get the e-invoice from the company from the cost, because we have the resume database buying the database from others, so it's get the invoice. Headhunters agents fee also get the invoice from the company. Agent fee. Oh, okay. Is commission then I will self-bill, or commission is we need to see it's under the payroll or not. Mm. Yes.
So if commission to stop,
Is commission to staff, then we update for the payroll.
commission
E-commission to third party, then we get the invoice from third party. Is it correct? I'm not. Or we self bill for the commission for third party. Self bill.
later the sell bill. Go through again. The calculation first, I'll go to sell bill one more time. Yeah, yeah. So the answer is sell bill.
Self bill for the third party.
Or it's a physical
Oh, okay.
commission.
So for the business invoicing, we get from the invoice from the insurance company for the business insurance.
It's income or expense?
Expect cost of goods sold.
Cost of sales lah.
Mm.
Expense lah.
Mm.
Invoice.
So also got the others income from foreign currency bank. So issue invoice.
Okay. Next is expense, staff remuneration, payroll, staff benefits, payroll, staff training. Kalau untuk staff, payroll juga.
Kalau dia ambil outside trainer from a training company, dapat
Get e-invoice.
get e-invoice. Yes.
Then staff entertainment and recreation, payroll. Three steps. Staff camp 3 steps. 3 steps. Next, director remuneration, payroll, director benefits, also payroll, director entertainment and recreation, 3 steps, office rental and utilities, ni kena si landlord lah. Si sama ada company ataupun individu. Kalau company kita get invoice, and kalau individu kita self bill. Lepas tu office administration.
Office administration, they've got two types. One is under the company, one is individual, only the person name. So if under the company, then we will get the invoice. If for the person, then we will pay for the
freelance also to start if whether is conducting business on the contracting business. Company need to say me that person. Yes. I think you understand what nature is. Because for the cleaner is individual. Okay. So if cleaner is an individual.
Next, ITP and maintenance. ITP and maintenance, get e-invoice. Transportation and traveling, more to staff claims, 3 step. Business entertainment, get business entertainment.
Business entertainment is with the client. So we will request for invoice from the restaurant. It's either under company name or under the staff name or
Or
the
3
normal
steps.
receipt. If it is under director, normally this director is under. So it will be under.
Okay, next depreciation, accounting entries, service fee, get e-invoice, loss on foreign exchange, accounting entry. Taxation, no, that's all. Thank you. Hey, power.
I think the staff claims and employment benefit a lot of like separate training.
Already come up with it.
Okay, company kami Hard Knock. Sales dia ada B2C dengan B2B. Kalau B2C, kita buat consolidated. Kalau B2B, kita buat e-invoice. Lepas tu, cost of sale, commission, kita buat self-bill. And then rental of venue, get e-invoice.
Rental of venue, cost. Oh.
We also got they also rent on the staff. Right, okay.
Income tax expense tu mesti clear.
The income on top pressure.
Okay. Training cost, untuk company TCKH, kita request for e-invoice. Kalau individual, kita buat statement. Okay. Kalau training material, sama juga. Kalau local company get e-invoice, the request. Okay. Sekejap, hapuskan ada. Okay. Kalau training material cost tu ada individu, staff. So kalau staff, kita dekat employee handbook, policy. Okay.
I will do a separate training on staff claim. Because ada banyak staff claim kan. That one got about 20 slides. So another day I will train. Okay. Sekarang, you tahu staff claim ada the 3 step? Okay. Setakat ini, okay. I will do the 3 step.
Okay, kalau ada income, ada forex, kita buat accounting entry. Okay. Okay, next for expenses, accounting fee, admin fee, and audit fee. Usually we request for e-invoice from local supplier. For consultation fee, we request for self-bill because mainly for individual. And from our apa ni macam dekat dalam ni stated that all the individual less than 150. Next, donations and gift. We request e-invoice from local supplier. And for entertainment, customer and supplier, we same as donations and gift. We request for e-invoice and apply for HR policy. For entertainment staff, also the same. And for filing fee and stamp duty, business as usual. Request request for it's a normal invoice and receipt lah. And we stop at filing and stamp duty. Satu habis. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
This company, there's private funding.
Mm-mm.
So company. So what do you do with interest? Eventually.
Interest. Interest dari
And
bank.
on what basis? Dia memegang itu. Put on top. Dia ada funders kan?
Sebab yang funder tu dia bukan every month. Yang tu masuk dia.
Okay, I mean, every month. So, what kind of job? Every month.
Different individual as I know for individual funder tu some maybe conducting business, some are not. So for those conducting business kena request interest. So kalau interest kena self bill.
Pasti.
Self bill.
Self-bill, tapi duty tu dah betul. Can you correct?
Self bill.
Okay.
Oh.
Kita monthly accrued, right? The accrued, kita tak akan bill the starting normal cycle. So, if the thing already paid the thing, then you already buat bayaran. So, based on bayaran, you do the self-bill. You do the self-bill, but you don't use, so you use the interest bill. And then the choice between accrual and pay. Consistent,
We just pay. We do pay. It's a no. You use the good your premium of price.
Yeah. So now you accrue every month, right? You entry, tak perlu apa. Bila setahun sekali dia akan bayar interest. Masa tu,
Every
satu lagi question. Yang ni ada refundable. Saya pergi ke kelas, saya ada refundable. What do you refundable?
Self bill. Debit note, credit note, debit note lah. Credit yang self bill lah kan. Note. Refund note.
Bila I pergi ke kelas, I bayar. So the deposit is refundable. Upon the date, not refundable. What do I do? What he will refund?
Issue refund note. Issue refund note.
Issue refund.
Note.
Issue refund. Okay.
To a point non-refundable, what do you do?
Non-refundable.
Deposit got two scenarios, right? Refundable, the fee, give my answer.
Non-refundable, what do you do?
Dia sudah deposit satu tahun lepas tu non-refundable.
If the deposit is forfeited, you nak dapat what?
Refundable. Non-refundable.
Jadi apa?
I didn't come. Macam mana?
I'm a student. I give you the receipt. After 1 year, it becomes one. You forfeit my it becomes non-refundable. What's the fee supposed to be? Upon non-refundable.
Self bill.
Kenapa self-bill? Income tak?
Income.
Kenapa self-bill?
Kenapa income sudah pergi stabilis?
Self-bill.
Okay.
Your brain fried, your on track, your brain don't fried, your
It's clear?
Then dia kena
Forfeited one, issue was that.
So for the refund loan, it can refund lah. The refund one, partially one, so we can do a refund loan invoice lah. So some the other charges also, that means the transaction fee we didn't give one. So that one is
in what?
invoice that part.
Department, again 2,000. They ever go to pay. According to that, that's actually 500. So I get 1,000. 500 invoice. 1,005 also invoice. Credit note invoice.
Refund not invoice.
And then
E-invoice is one section, refund note, refund.
satu tahun and invoice, the other part also.
Okay.
Okay.
Bila profit, you recognize that income, right? From balance sheet deposit, you recognize that income.
Yes.
Masa you recognize that income, masa tu lah you issue e-invoice. Because it's the income.
Thank you.
Completely to the situation just now. The funder for Hard Knocks, right, got individual names and also got company names. So, tak kira individual or company, for interest expense, kita guna self-bill. Yeah. So, there is ABC Sendirian Berhad also invested in Hard Knock. Yong Lily also invested in Hard Knocks. The interest expense, dua-dua pun guna self-bill. Okay? Yes, same thing for commission. Yeah. Yeah, it's like ADD. Betul. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the five ADD. Different rules, but same treatment. Yes. Okay. All right. So next one. Do we have time? Okay, Shama, mari. Okay, Shama and Susan, you cover since you cover expense. Semua pun kena belajar.
Yeah.
Tak apa. Tapi try saja. It's okay. Belajar sama-sama.
Now you take on under the P&L or the outsourcing invoice that you send to people. You bill people, what invoice is that? You bill outsourcing, right? HR client, you bill outsourcing.
The POB.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, for issue e-invoicing, like POB, so HRDF need to issue e-invoice.
Disbursement of reimbursement, reimbursement.
Reimbursement.
That one's because that one is not issued. Normal issue on monthly outsourcing bill.
Monthly outsourcing.
Monthly outsourcing bill for finance outsourcing and HR outsourcing. What do we do? The normal outsourcing, right?
Slowly.
We have two types of it, right? The first normal invoice that we bill people, that is our income. So what's the invoice that you issue to them?
Outsourcing?
Yeah.
It's a new invoice, or is it a normal invoice, or is it a receipt you issue?
Invoice.
What invoice is that?
No, I'm totally tak faham.
Okay, for all the outsourcing invoices that we bill to our clients, we issue invoice. But for the POB, which is a reimbursement because it's not ours, we don't issue the invoice, we use normal invoice, correct? Yes, because it's not profit for us. Okay. And as for the we only have more specific, to be more specific. So InTune invoice is this one, okay? InTune invoice. So you got the monthly outsourcing fee. This one is invoice. Fee. So this one is e-invoice. Yes. Okay. So you got the printing stationery, printing and stationery, e-invoice. Yes. Then your POB, right? POB. Then you have PPF, so salary, etc. Okay, this one you don't do anything, it's a disbursement. You choose the classification code 006. When you choose 006, you don't do e-invoice, dia akan tak masuk the income. So try and go cannot be like that. But it's still the e-invoice, but just 006 only. Yeah, correct. You can do in one thing. I think when we activated our QB, we can take a look at it. Yeah, so we can do in one thing. If this one they cannot do like that, then this one will be a separate invoice. Separate invoice. If they cannot distinguish like that, then this one we do separate invoice. Separate invoice. Normal invoice. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So that is the sales part, very easy only to. As for the cost of sales, we have cost of sale under the statutory, which is cost of sale under statutory. That one is we don't get self-bill from. We don't issue self-bill because it's
like normal payroll and statutory. Yeah.
And then we also have cost of sales for staff, ang-pao, incentive, trip, and all these things is under the payroll. The payroll three concepts. And come to the expenses. All the expenses under the administration, so accounting, and professional fees, recruitment, secretarial, agent service are under the invoice from the supplier, not the AP. And as for donation, very small little only, but that also is the invoice from the recipients. Other expenses under administration is the utility, is the receipt or the invoice, whatever invoice issued from the body or the KLB.
But for InTune, we already changed name.
Yes.
We changed all the utility bill under InTune name. So e-invoice from the PNB and all,
Yes.
there are nothing to do with that.
Yes, then we have this mobile phone claim and the a telephone is under the utility. The mobile claim is under the payroll staff claim policy. And we have also subscription fees. We have subscription fees. We have one is the local, one is from the overseas. And then for the overseas, we issue self-bill. This is the local periodic subscription. We ask the invoice from the supplier. Then we move on to the remuneration expenses. All is under payroll. And the contract wages is also under payroll because we issue them the contract. Director remuneration under payroll. And sales and marketing expenses is because it's paid to our salesman, and therefore it's under paying the payroll. Yes, sales and marketing expenses, which is paid for the lead generation, marketing and material and referral fees. Instead referral fees, lead generation, marketing fees, and website depends individual or is company nature. If it's company nature, we give the invoice. If it's individual, we exercise the fee. Okay. Travel and motor vehicles expenses, all these are paid from staff in their salary time and also for directors, all under the same policies. Okay.
Ah, thank you. Good job.
And that for me, past few years already.
That's why issue normal invoice because normal invoice, no
Basically,
invoice.
in the accounting thing, you always have 006
Okay. So I think this one need to issue too. Because the button to send an e-invoice is for the total one. So I think for this type, you cannot got dual lah. The e-invoice one. Yeah. Yeah. Then this one you will have to separate it. Two separate ones.
So under TD, there's one button says save and invoice.
Yeah.
You can save the other, the normal invoice.
Okay, sure. Okay, so now you get a little bit hang of it. Okay, so now still got a bit of time. I'm going to go through with you self-bill. Okay, then I think based on today's training, we are going to have another training on staff claims. Ya, sebab tu I nampak macam not so sure. Because staff claims, we have about 20 slides on staff claim. Tak apa, hari ni kita buat self-bill dulu. Okay, so remember, kalau nak buat self-bill, is it untuk sales ke untuk expense? Self-bill hanya untuk expense sahaja, ya. Okay, so got how many scenario you can self-bill? Ada berapa scenario you boleh self-bill? I ask a question lah. Ada berapa scenario you can self-bill? 9. So you cannot add your own 10 or 11, ya. Must be 9 only. So before you look at this one, you look here first. So self-bill is for expense. Okay, ada 9 scenario sahaja. So I want to make your life easier. So when you do the thought process, out of the 9 that apply to InTune client, not applicable to InTune client, ada 3. Okay, not applicable to InTune client. Jadi applicable to InTune client ada 6. Okay. So always you will self-bill one is 4. Sometimes you will self-bill is 2. Jadi total 9. Okay. Let's start with this one first. Not applicable ialah betting. That means it's the Toto, 4D, Genting, Casino. We don't have client that do this business, right? Jadi not applicable loh. Okay. So another not applicable punya ialah insurance. Insurance company. We don't have AIA, we don't have Great Eastern, we don't have Allianz. So this one not applicable. Another one is the capital reduction. Capital reduction. Okay. Jadi ini dah tak applicable to you, so you don't need to remember lah. Okay. So sometimes you will use one. Sometimes you will use is dividend. Sometimes dividend. I think this one is capital. Okay. Self-view. Yeah, interest payment. Okay. Interest payment just now, hard knocks, funders, under this one. So sometimes some of your clients got interest payment. So this one kita dah identify loh, hard knocks ada. Okay. And dividend payment. Okay. Kadang-kadang we will use. So the 4, what are the 4? Can you remember what are the always 4, right? That you need to self-bill. You need to self-bill. Which are the 4? Okay, payment of commission, incentive to ADD. ADD means agent, dealer and distributor. Maksudnya non-staff lah. If you are paying commission or incentive to agent, dealer, distributor, ADD, which is non-staff, you must self-bill. Tak kira orang tu ialah individual or company. You just self-bill saja. So number 2. Yes, betul. Imported. Whenever goods sold, foreign suppliers lah, imported goods or services. Maksudnya bila you bayar to somebody overseas. Bayar to somebody overseas to beli barang, bayar to somebody overseas to get services. Facebook, Google, semua tu kan, Google Ads, semua tu you must self-bill. Number 3. Okay. For e-commerce, how does it affect you? This one only affects you if you have clients that actually buy things from overseas e-commerce. Buy things from overseas e-commerce, which is, example, Amazon. Taobao. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
The stock is buying on the e-commerce platform.
Yes.
And the one that we have company.
Yes.
So I cover under the
Stock claim.
Or the e-commerce service.
Okay. I think in that case, you are referring to Nano, right? I would suggest cover under stock claim. If I cover under stock claim, it's easier. The procedure is easier. Yeah. So e-commerce, overseas, Amazon or Taobao, or you believe of any other website lah. Okay. So Shopee, Lazada, TikTok, which is a Malaysian e-commerce platform, you don't need to do anything. Bless baby, you don't need to do anything. You just get a copy of self-bill from Shopee and Lazada. Radio site, Shopee and Lazada, you tak payah buat apa-apa. Okay. This one is only e-commerce, only for expense for overseas, Amazon and Taobao. You need to do. What's the last one? Individual, not in business. Individuals, not in business. Okay. Now I say lah, this young Lily got a full-time employment with InTune, help father, mother, got sister to do accounting, example. This one, not conducting business, self-bill, this one. Okay. Yeah. So which means, right, what you need to remember. So remember these 9 scenarios. 4 is the one that you always need to do in your accounting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just memorize this one. Sometimes it's this one. Kadang-kadang very few clients. This one you tak payah remember pun. So that means you only need to remember 6 scenarios that you need to do self-bill. Yeah, instead of 9, you need to remember 6 scenarios that you need to do self-bill. 4 is always, 2 is only for very selected clients. Okay, so you have this one in your mind first. Okay, so let me run through the self-bill punya slides. So once you get this concept, then this one is easy already. Okay, so self-bill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 7, 8, 9. So I can give you these slides. So the one in red, tak payah tengok, is this one. I already make it red. Yeah, tak payah tengok. The one that in 2, I already make it blue. Profit distribution. Yeah, or dividend. Dividend is profit distribution lah. And interest payment. Yeah, you pay interest to business or individual other than banks. Yeah, you need to self-bill. Yeah, and then the black one are the one that is what I said, this one. Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay, self-bill. Okay, never mind. So the employment, staff, benefit and all are about 20 slides. I won't cover here today. Yeah, we'll have another training to do that. So are you getting a clearer picture of self-bill? Boleh? Okay, so first step to do self-bill, it must be a? Yes, it must be an expense. First thing, expense. Lepas tu ada 9 scenario. Lepas tu ada 3 kategori. Berapa tak payah tengok. 3 tu tak payah tengok. So hanya perlu tengok 6. Of the 6 setiap hari kena guna ialah 4. Okay, and this is the 4 scenario. Self-bill semua dibuat oleh siapa? InTune. That means you will be the one doing self-bill. Okay, for the sales one, usually who will do? Client will do on their own. For the sales one, they will do. If they are issuing sales invoice like Rogue Asia, dia sendiri issue sales invoice kan. Jadi kita kena ajar mereka how to issue e-invoice. Right? Okay. Leverage led sales invoice. Siapa issue? InTune yang issue. So InTune need to issue e-invoice for the sales cycle for leverage led. Okay. So Vision Space, Evercare, Food Hub. Okay, sales. Who need to issue e-invoice? Retail. Okay, B2C. Client lah kena issue e-invoice. Okay, client issue e-invoice. Siapa kena issue consolidated e-invoice? InTune. Okay, or when the software is ready, when QuickBooks is ready, we will really take a look at it and see what to do. So the software is tengah masak saja. Macam telur tengah masak, tak full masak lagi. Okay? Boleh. Okay. So am I missing anything? Okay. Okay, so what we need you to do is, do you want the slides? Yes. Okay, so I will give you the slides for today's training. So that tak lambat lah, because I got 180 slides. Nanti you pingsan. Okay? So I will give you the slides for today's training. We will email that over to you. And then this one, I suggest that you do is, you tampal dekat depan you punya, depan belakang. Okay, depan belakang you tampal dekat you punya desk. Sometimes if you are not sure like what to do, this is your mind mapping. Okay, so for the exercise that you do today, okay, exercise that you do today, you tulis-tuliskan. Ada siapa yang belum habis, you kasih habiskan. Okay, and then I need you to type it in your Excel. You printed out the hard copy, right? Yeah. So you type it in your Excel. What is the e-invoice treatment? Macam saya buat untuk Rogue Asia. Okay? Excel. Okay. So you type out the e-invoice treatment. Macam ni. Okay? You take the P&L, one of the P&L, you type like this. Okay? So after the AA and AE has typed, I want the seniors to review. Type every line. Seniors review, sign off. Yeah? Because next time your staff, your AA and AE will be based on this one, the one that is approved by you, to do their day-to-day accounting and e-invoice work. Yeah. Like that lah. Like that one, right? So a copy of the P&L for last year. Tambah the column for e-invoice treatment. I need the senior to review and sign. Kalau ini tak buat betul, apa jadi dengan our data entry treatment? Salah. So this one you must get it right. Yeah. If you are not sure, seniors, you can discuss with me or something lah with the transactions. If you're not sure. Boleh? Okay. All right. Okay. Anything? Any question before we habis? Any question? Okay, go one round. If you have any question or perhaps one thing that you give your rating of the training, how does it help you in your day-to-day work? 1 to 10. 1 is like, alamak, I tak tahu you cakap apa. 10 is like, okay, I think I get what you are saying. 1 to 10, rating of the training. Number 2, the top 2 to 3 things that you have learned today that you can bring back. Yeah. Yes. Bagus. So just now beginning, right? I asked you kan, you rate yourself. So now we do the rating. So after the training, okay, on how to do e-invoice treatment. So can I have a show of hand if you rate yourself 5 and below? Still 5 and below, tak tahu apa nak buat. Okay, 5 and below. It's okay. Take your time, okay? Susan will teach you. Yes. Okay, so if you rate yourself 5 and above after the training, please show your hand. Okay, good. So if you rate yourself 6 out of 10, siapa? 6 out of 10 after the training. 6 out of 10 lah. Sini. 6 out of 10, siapa? Okay. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Okay, means a lot of 7 out of 10. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Okay, seniors. Okay, very pandai. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, Susan. Okay, great. Okay, 10 out of 10. Saya. Okay, actually, I also not 10 out of 10 because some of the things also I don't know. We need to discuss and we are also constantly learning. Sakti and I are also learning. Okay, that's great. So based on this rating, I see that you get some value that you can bring it to your work, right? Okay. So just go around one round. What is the top? Do you have a question? No, okay. So what is your maybe top 2 to 3 learnings from today? Very short. Around the room. Okay. Start. Okay, Eric, start first. Yeah. Rate the training, effectiveness of the training, and then your top. Okay.
Learning discussion.
Okay, stabil. Okay. Yep.
International client.
Stabil. Okay. Okay, Ken. All right. Any other one? Don't have also okay. Never mind. Okay, good. Great. Okay, next one. Okay.
How to take picture of it, what is the perspective? What I need to look more into is for the rental, utility, commission, staffing, and deposit part of the
Okay. Okay.
Whether we have to return invoice or issue the bill or issue the ticket.
Okay, sure. Okay, all right. Next question. Okay. All right. Imported goods, some of our clients have imported goods, right? Treatment. Today you know the treatment only, but when we actually do it, the steps are different. So we have a separate training for that. All right. I will give more and I will give you all the format for them to confirm whether this category is which category. Okay, all right. I will put training now. 10 of 10 continuous training. My top two bills only for expenses and 3 paid for staff maintenance. Okay, sure. Good.
I rate them out of 10. So I learned on the commissions, donations part, and also what are the HR policies cover for the commission and e-commerce part.
E-commerce. Okay, all right. Definitely.
8/10, then I'm understand what is a self-bill, then classification code for 006.
Okay, good. Okay, the next training I will cover application code. That will cover. Okay. Great.
My rating is 10 out of 10. The roadmap is very structured, clear, and on point. And the sharing of other team members have actually enlightened me those category that I do not have in my mindset of how we have to make it more way of how we can comfortable to what right and have the self view and also what type of invoices, whether it's normal invoice or it's
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Okay, give yourself a feedback. So based on your feedback, our next training we will cover this one a bit more. This one individual because these are a bit confusing, right? Individual. I will cover import of goods. How do you actually do it? In QuickBooks, stock claims for the HR policy, and also the classification code. And then I think I'll also cover the general themes. There are 4 general themes. Yeah. Yeah, I will cover that in the next training. Yeah. So remember what's our work? Excel, and then I want you to get your senior to sign off. Excel, you got dalam soft copy, lepas tu you print out, and you get the senior to sign off. Make sure every line is filled. So this will be the model answer when you do your data entry on a day-to-day basis. Okay, timeline. So when will we get back the signed copy?
latest next Monday, because all your cases are going to be discussed by the real case.
Yeah. So by next Monday, you actually fill that up and then get the senior to sign on. Thank you so much. Thank you.